Yes, guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this evening's live watch along. The Premier League is back. We've already had a few games. Arsenal obviously beat Crystal Palace last night. Fulham holding Liverpool to a Desmond 2-2 at the Cottage earlier. Spurs with an emphatic win as well. I think Bournemouth getting off to a winning start as well. First game back in the Premier League. And as always, we are delighted for the Chelsea to be back. A tricky test today. Trip to Goodison Park, which has not been a happy hunting ground for us at all. I don't think we've won there since 2017 or 2018 season when we were with Antonio Conte, that title-winning year. Other than that, we've really struggled there. Last season was a joke. When we went there towards the back end of the season, we were terrible. We do struggle there. So this is going to be our first real test of the season for us. Everton unbeaten in the last 10 years in opening fixtures of the season. So it's going to be tough up against Frank Lampard again. He won't want to lose for obvious reasons. The Chelsea, tricky pre-season, but coming back into a bit of form now, played well in the two games against Udinese, some positivity in the transfer market as well. So things seem to be on a bit of an up. The atmosphere around the camp seems to be better. George, how are you feeling, mate, going into this one? Obviously, I'll bring the team up on the screen now. But yeah, looking forward to just getting things underway now. The season's finally back, but a tough task this evening.
Yeah, we are. Look, cheers. I'm not endorsing any alcohol during the stream, but cheers to the beginning of the Premier League season. I've been waiting for it. Pre-season's always a bit of a drag, isn't it? But yeah, really excited to get going. Very tricky affair to start with. Always hard away from home. I think we both agreed we're glad that we avoided the newly promoted sides because they always have a bit of an extra kick in their step. But not going to be easy. Frank Lampard's going to want to get that win against his former club as a bit of a bonus. But I think once it gets going and Chelsea hopefully can calm the first 10 minutes down, which will be electric. Hopefully the quality shines through and we get the 3 points to kick off the season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, since we last chatted, mate, a few bits and pieces have happened. Obviously, we signed Marc Cucurella. Just briefly, mate, before the game kicks off, we've got a few minutes. We'll discuss it during the game as well. £55 million with £7 million in add-ons. He'll become the most expensive left-back in world football. So Chelsea now the most expensive goalkeeper, the most expensive centre-forward, now the most expensive left-back. Could also have the most expensive centre-back if we get Wesley Fofana over the line, which is looking more and more likely. George, briefly on Cucurella, I think it's a fantastic signing myself. 24 years of age, versatile, can play left centre-back in a three, can play left-back in a four, can play left wing-back as well. Adds real quality, real strength and depth as well. Delighted with this one.
Yeah, Olivier Bazaglo, who we've had on the show before, said something really interesting, which was, top of the league at Christmas, cruising, and we lost our two influential fullbacks, which is where our play is mostly dictated. So to get someone in like that, even though probably people thought that he wasn't a priority, actually, we've got now reinforcements in cover at fullback, which is vital for the long game and the long-term plan for the Premier League and to hopefully close the gap. So I actually think it's a very smart bit of business, even though we know that there's perhaps other areas that are more needed, but I think it's a smart signing. And to be honest, like you said on the stream yesterday, it's not our money, so who really cares about the price?
Yeah, exactly. We have to pay that much. Ideally, we would not pay that much. Yeah, of course. But, it's needs must. It's not our money, so we roll. And it's a fantastic quality addition to the squad. Mate, what do you make of the one that came out of nowhere, really? The 18-year-old, Carney Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa. £20 million he's going to end up costing eventually. Final year of his contract. I mean, one of the brightest prospects in English football. I think 12 or 13 appearances for Aston Villa in the Premier League last season, was a part of the under-19 England Euros winning side, alongside Harvey Baird as well, also at Chelsea. Tuchel and Bowley think he's going straight into the first team squad. Obviously, he's not made the bench today or the match day squad, but I mean, it's good to see us that we're building for the now and we're also building for the future as well. I mean, are you pleased to see us, sign the likes of Chukwuemeka, obviously Omari Hutchinson we got from Arsenal. We've brought in, obviously, Slanina as well, the young 18-year-old goalkeeper. It's pleasing that we know we're building for the future as well as building for the now.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have a balance of getting ready-made professionals who are at the peak of their game and then, balancing that out with, players that have got serious potential. A lot of noises coming out of his former club that he's one to watch. And I think that the statement of the amount of years we've added to that contract shows that we are very interested in his long-term development at the club. So I hope we just don't make the same mistake by releasing him too early and him going to be a great performance at another club. But I think he's another good one to another string to our bow, really. And age-wise, he can only improve.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Ahead to the lineup today, obviously, any surprises for you, mate? I personally don't think so. Obviously, the only one I was a little bit unsure about was whether Chilwell would start or not. I thought Cucurella might start, but he's only had one training session though, so probably a big ask to go into sort of an away game of this caliber with one training session under your belt. Aspie gets the nod over Trevor Chalobah. Any surprises in the lineup for you, George? I mean, I thought Chilwell.
Yeah, it was Chilwell
that, for me. It was a tough one, that really. But other than that, the lineup pretty much picks itself, doesn't it? I mean, anything that you would disagree with at all?
I don't think so. I think it was pretty much how we expected it. It was just that Chilwell one. Was he ready to go straight in? First 10 minutes is probably going to tell, because again, he must be ready if Tuchel believes that he's ready to start the game. But again, it's the Premier League. Are you up to the standard of the Premier League? But let's not make any mistakes. Everton will also trying to be getting up to pace in this game. They might not be fully fit. There'll be players who perhaps it will be a bit more electric and hard to manage the game fitness wise. But let's just hope he starts well, and Chelsea just calm it down for the first 5-10 minutes, and we gain possession and just take the noise out of the ground, and then as I said at the start, hopefully the quality shines through. But no real surprises for me, mate. I'm just excited to get going.
No surprise for you, Jorginho over Kovacic. I think I picked Jorginho last night. I just feel that in an away game, it's the sort of one where you want a bit of control in the middle of the park, slow the tempo down of Everton, try and get up ahead of steam, get the crowd behind them. You want to try and just slow everything down, and Jorginho is perfect for that sort of thing. And you've got you've got big options from the bench as well. Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic are a bit more energy, a bit more attacking impetus in midfield. So there are options there. But George, how excited are you to see Raheem Sterling? I thought he's been fantastic in pre-season. He's looked really exciting. He's played really well. This is a big day for him, isn't it?
Yeah, so excited for him to get going. New challenge for him, new system, new manager under his wing. Let's just hope that it's not a curse that continues to go on with buying players who do well at other clubs coming to Chelsea and not performing. I think he is a very, very good signing for us. But now the talking stops. He's got to deliver, and it doesn't have to start today, obviously, but we need to start off positively. And I think the squad's got better depth now. There's no doubt that the signings we've brought in add quality to the squad. And the first team, I think it's been a good window. We're perhaps missing, like we said, a centre-back that you well covered, and perhaps another forward. But I mean, here we go. They're walking out now, and I'm ready to get going. I mean, it's going to be.
How confident are you feeling for this one? Because Goodison's a tough place to go, isn't it? It's a narrow pitch. The crowd are right on you. You've not got a good record here. I mean, I know it's only the first day of the season, but you do want to start well. We've already seen Liverpool drop points. I'm not saying we're contending for the league by any means this season or anything like that, but a win today, and you see when the league's only won by a point, if we win today, we're 2 points ahead of Liverpool already. I'm not saying that we're contending, but when it's fine margins, like results like this, I know at the start of the season, different bits and pieces can happen, but a win here would be quite a big statement, wouldn't it?
Well, I think a lot of people are expecting, from what I've heard from neutrals and non-Chelsea fans, they're expecting us to get top four.
Mate, they're sleeping on us.
Yeah, and they're expecting Chelsea not to do very well, but also in this game, Chelsea to be upset by Everton, which could happen if you're given the recent history between the two clubs. It's always a bit open at the opening day of the season, but you make a good point, mate. Why can't you set a target of trying to get those 2 points over Liverpool early? People just almost wave off the start of the season because no one's up to speed, but you can gain an advantage by starting well or subsequently not playing well.
Mate,
so
100%.
Liverpool already dropping points. I'm not saying we get 2 points over Liverpool today and we're favourites to beat them to the title. I'm not saying that, but it is points that we can make up, and they've already dropped points, so why not take advantage when you can? It's not going to be easy. I'm expecting a difficult one. I predicted on the story that on the channel 2-1 Chelsea. I think it's going to be tight. I think we've just got to calm it down first 10 minutes. An early goal conceded, and I have feared for us defensively this pre-season. I think we have looked a bit shaky at times. But yeah, this is going to be tough, mate. No means about it.
I think Koulibaly is going to be a big one as well. Really looking forward to seeing him. We'll just get to a few bits in the chat. Big up everyone that's in the chat at the moment. Nice one, guys. They expect to get 8th or 6th. Who's that? Does he mean Chelsea? I don't know. Agreed. The kit is actually sick, mate. I know we've said that Nike have done us dirty a lot here. Mate, this kit's banging, by the way. Do you like it?
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Mate, I think it's class. But do you know what the annoying thing? Sorry if I'm rustling. I'm just having some sweets. I probably should have muted the mic. Yeah, I think the kit's sick, but it's not available until the 31st of this month. I think there's been a few supply issues. So, there's no
wasn't there a thing where JD actually released it before the club website?
JD, they did, mate. What's this? I just remembered how Mina pocketed Havertz last season. Yeah, mate, I was at Goodison last season. Mina did pocket him. He got his keys out and had Havertz in there as well. Havertz was dreadful here last season. He's got to do better than that. RD, big up, bro. Yeah, I'm nervous as well. Hopefully we will win comfortably, but it's going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be a real tough one. George, how do you think how much below is it that obviously Richarlison's left Everton? They got no Damari Gray either. No Calvert-Lewin because he's injured. I mean, what do you make of that front three, McNeil, Gordon and Gray? Obviously, it's got pace and it's got energy, but there's no real focal point there.
No. And do you know what? On any other day of the season, you're talking 5-6 games in, they'd probably be struggling. But because there's no history to go on with the season, and we're literally playing the first game, I think the adrenaline takes over. So I think it's actually harder to play teams that haven't got any sort of form to play on at the moment. If we were going into this with Everton's form of 5 without a win, it's slightly different. But they'll be up for it. So I don't think the personnel necessarily makes a huge difference at this stage of the season. Oh God, mate! I just hope. Avoid defeat.
Sorry, mate. Interesting that Sky on the graphic with the team thing, I've got it as Sterling as starting through the middle with Havertz to one side. I mean, I don't know if that will.
Well, I think it'll be interchangeable, mate. I honestly do. I think that's the whole point. I think we will, throughout the game, we'll change it.
Mate, how big a game is this for Kai Havertz now? 3rd season, seemingly going to be the main man unless someone else comes in. The pressure's on now, isn't it, for him to deliver? He's had moments, but this is a big chance now.
Yeah, well, it's huge for Kai Havertz. I mean, I know they don't make the price tags, but it's a lot of money that we've paid. And you made a good point about, yes, he got the Champions League final goal. We're always grateful, but you can't just come as a player and just expect that that's going to get you through your whole Chelsea career, and fans are going to accept it. Yes, we'll always sing his name in the famous song about the Champions League, but this is where he's got to make it matter. And he's had, just like the rest of them up the front, they've had enough games and opportunities to make that position their own. So it's up to whoever really takes the ball by the horns and takes that position and owns it. Because so far, there's been no one who you could say and put your hat on and say, well, that's our starting man. Yeah,
no, mate, I agree. I mean, looking to the bench as well, mate, I didn't realise this season that there's probably 9 subs on the bench.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know, obviously, we can make the 5, which is really
there's nine subs, right? Taking a knee.
I'm a bit ahead of you, mate. But,
yeah, mate, we've just kicked off now. Yeah, George's watching it on the TV. I'm watching it on the phone. So there's going to be a slight lag. But, yeah, we're underway. Mate, I don't know. I feel a bit, I don't want to say worried about this one. But this is a really tough one to get. I think, would you agree, though, mate, that it's probably better to go here at the start of the season where everything's equal rather than going there in a run-in where they might be struggling or we're going for a top 4 or whatever it is?
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that result that they got against us towards the back of last season, just, and the results they got to survive, you don't want to play these sorts of teams at the back end when they're fighting for everything. You want to play them now. I think that's why when you play, you almost want a harder start because... I mean, you look at last season when we went to Anfield away, we actually got a decent point.
Mate, we should have won that game. Got done in by Anthony Taylor, yeah.
So, you almost want you do want the better teams first and get them out of the way when there's no form to really go off. And like I said at the start of the video, you probably don't want to play the promoted sides. We saw it with Brentford last season.
That's always tough.
Always, because they've got a spring in their step, haven't they? You wait till Christmas where they're struggling to even get a goal, and then it changes.
Oh, mate, you see today, I don't think on the promoted sides, Fulham got a draw against Liverpool. Bournemouth beat Villa. I'm not sure what the Nottingham Forest Newcastle result was.
They lost.
Forest lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got 2 out of 3 of the newly promoted. Like, that's the thing.
That doesn't happen midway through the season, really.
No, it doesn't. But that's what I mean. Like, you don't in the first month, you don't really want any of the newly promoted sides because they're bang up for it. And they haven't really got anything to lose. Until the table starts taking shape, then it's just kind of a free hit. But yeah,
Sterling getting a lot of abuse early doors from the Everton fans, as you could expect.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not really much has happened, does it? First couple of minutes.
No, they've had a set piece that they put into the box. Didn't amount to anything.
No, that's fine. It's gone behind. Mate, how much are you looking forward to seeing Koulibaly? Obviously, with that 26 on the back now. I'm sure you've seen the clip on socials of him phoning up JT asking for the 26. Mate, this is a big day for him. Not many tougher starts, is there, to English football? Away in a hostile environment. How do you see him coping? I've been so impressed with him.
Oh, mate. Well, he's been on the books for ages. I think Thomas Tuchel in his press conference yesterday said he's been a big fan of his for years, been following him for years. Chelsea have also been following him for years. Big shoes to fill with the famous 26. I know that's a bit sentimental. Doesn't really mean much these days, but and I'm sure he won't be thinking about that. But a nice touch to him to actually ring up JT. And look, if you want to play in the Premier League as a centre back, these are the moments you love, aren't they? A tough game away from home, crowd against you, get stuck in, and mate, I really rate him. I rate him. So it's never easy. It's one of probably the hardest positions to start, because if you make one single error, it's known and everyone sees it. But no, I've got no concerns in the long run about that him as a player. No chance.
No, I think he's going to do really well, and I'll probably say, mate, it is an upgrade on Rudiger. I'm not saying that
upgrade. Do you think he's an upgrade?
It's no worse. I think it could be slightly better.
It's no worse. I don't think it's better. I think it has the potential to possibly be better. But ideally, I would have loved Silva, Rudiger, and Koulibaly. That would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, but I think, well, to be honest, mate, whilst there's not much happening, what's your thoughts on potential move for Fofana? Would you be a big fan of that?
So I was watching your video this morning, and you're talking about the fact that they're obviously going to reject the offer that we're going to put in, but they're asking for 80, 85. I mean, he's not worth that. But again, if he's our primary target, which we've made it quite publicly known, then again, the ball's in their court. They're obviously going to say he's not for sale, but everyone has their price, as you also said. Look, I think I rate him for all the reasons that you said. Good resale value, young, versatile, Premier League proven. Ticks all the boxes for me, and we're running out of time. So I think, again, I've kind of because we flopped so much money in the past. After Lukaku, I almost think, look, it's not my money, so why should I be bothered that he cost 100 million? If Chelsea are prepared to pay that for a player, let's buy him in. Just get him. I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, does it? I mean, it could be embarrassing for Chelsea because we probably are one of the worst teams for signings. Or here comes I'm just ahead of you. So that was a ball in from Reece James from a set piece on the right hand side. He's played it in, and it's just a header from about 8 yards out.
Mate, I'm 5 minutes on the clock. What are you on?
6. Koulibaly's just headed
I'm a minute behind.
Straight into Pickford. Nice and simple save in the end, but it was a nice delivery from James.
I might reload myself. Let's see if I can get
So on Fofana, I'd give it the green light, mate. I think we'd be really well equipped at the back with Fofana.
Yeah, I would agree, mate. I'm on 5.5. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, mate. I mean, what have you? I mean, what were you looking? Do you think this is our main, as things stand? Obviously, the window's still got a month or so to go. Do you think this currently then is this is the go-to front three, isn't it? Sterling, Mount, Havertz. You probably say that is the one that is going to start the season. That's probably the strongest one on paper for the club at the moment.
It is for the moment, and it'll be interesting to see if Chelsea change their stance on bringing in a forward depending on the early results in the season. I mean, if we, again, end up not having many shots on target, lose this game, don't score, then does Bowley look at it and think, right, after Fofana, we need to get a forward? Or if we start well, do they think, actually, we spent a lot of money already in the window, we've addressed the full-backs for cover, we've addressed the centre-half to replace Christensen and Rudiger, we don't need any other forwards, we just need our forwards that we already have at the club to improve, which is a debate, I think, because we do have a lot of forward players, it's just none of them get decent numbers. So you could argue Tuchel needs to work with what he's got there and improve them. That should be his goal as a manager.
Do you think like it'd be better for us to go with one guy that gets the bulk of the goals, or we just need more players to step up and contribute with, say, 10 goals?
I don't think it matters.
If we got Sterling, Mount, and Havertz, say, all with 10 Premier League goals, that's 30 goals. All right, it's probably not enough, but it's much better than we have been doing. Do you think it's better to have, sort of your front line with 10 to 12 goals each, or do you think it's better for you to have like a 20 goals a season, man, and the other guys contribute with, say, between 5 and 10. I don't really know what the best thing to do is. I mean, ultimately for us, I'd probably say it's better to have, guys that are all contributing rather than just being reliant on one, because we've been reliant on one so often, and if they don't deliver, then it just doesn't happen.
And ideally, you'd want, lots of players in different positions to contribute. And people forget, the title-winning seasons we had with Drogba and Costa. Yes, they did score a lot of goals, but you forget the people behind them. Frank Lampard always scoring double digits every season. Robin, Duff getting at least 10 assists a season. Wright Phillips, Joe Cole, at least getting 6, 7, 8 Premier League goals a season. It's difficult. I don't think it really matters. I mean, if you've got a striker who scores, the amount that, say, Harry Kane does, I think you're already in a position. Chelsea would be in a position where they could say we're challenging for the league. I mean, I honestly do think that.
Mm.
Oh my goodness!
What's happened, mate?
So there was a bit of a pass back debacle. I think it was Godfrey playing it back to Pickford, completely misplaced it, almost went out for a
sold
corner.
Him short.
Pickford's trying to pick it up, as in rescue it from going for a corner. He's then slipped over. Havertz then takes the ball, almost for an open goal, but then the referee's flagged, I think, already for it's crossed the line for a goal, a corner kick. So, yeah.
Mate, do you think is it a worry for you, mate, about not really that many goals in midfield? Is that a concern for you? Because normally, realistically, the first choices are going to be Kante, Kovacic, or Jorginho. It's going to be two of those three basically. Will start the bulk of the games. Not very many goals in there. Is it a worry that there's not many goals in the middle of the park?
I think there's a worry that there's not enough goals in the team. Period.
Just full stop.
Yeah. I mean that the plus side is like I said, we have got I think a pretty good squad, and that actually, if we just improve even just two of those players who score double digits, we could be better. I imagine you're watching the bit that I'm now.
Yeah, it's just gone behind now, mate. Yeah, it's just gone behind for a corner.
Look, there's Ashley Cole next to Frank. So again, I am concerned about the amount of goals, but not just from midfield. I think just in the team in general, we still don't have that focal point where we can rely on someone to get double digits in the season, which is a worry. But then every season's different, mate. There's no guarantee that Haaland's going to do well at City. I kept banging on about this.
There's no guarantees.
There isn't any guarantees, and he might actually be a problem City that now they've got a focal number 9. It might be harder for them to adapt because they're not used to it. It doesn't mean it's going to make them better. You'd assume so. I quite like the interchangeable front three personally.
Yeah, I think that's the way football's going, isn't it?
Yeah, I think gone are the days of a kind of big number 9 target that you loft balls up to. I just think the game's moved on a little bit from that, where it's a bit quicker, a bit more tactically moved forward than that. And I think Lukaku is a perfect example.
Sorry, does Frank look like he's put a bit of timber on over the summer?
He did. He does a little bit, doesn't he?
Mate, I'm not buying into that fat Frank stereotype. But he looks a bit chunkier, doesn't he, mate? That's not just me.
Mate, no, but he can let go a little bit, can't he?
Oh, yeah, no, of course he can. I'm not criticising him, but he does look a bit visibly bigger.
Mate, I'll tell you who I was watching last night who's put on a bit of timber. That's Gary Neville.
Do you think Neville's put some timber on?
He's definitely got a belly under that white t-shirt that he was wearing yesterday. I mean, Carragher looks in great shape.
Mate, Carragher's in decent nick, to be fair to him.
And then you've got Neville next to him. I know he's a bit shorter, but my God, he was just
You think Neville's put a bit of timber on?
Mate, I think Neville's got some serious timber going on.
Everton making a change here. I don't know if you've seen it. Who's that coming on? I don't know who's going off, but who the fuck is that? That looks like, I don't know.
It's Holgate, I think. I think it's Holgate.
Oh, Mason Holgate coming on. So defender's going off. So what? Godfrey going off, is he?
I think so. I think it's Godfrey for Holgate.
There's Cucurella. Loving that.
Mate, Ashley Cole might come on in a minute.
Mate, to be fair, I still have him in the squad.
Yeah, I think I would as well. I'd put Frank in there as well, actually. Why not?
Mate, are you talking of the subs? Obviously, no Holgate for Godfrey is the sub. So Godfrey off, Holgate on. So a bit of a blow for Everton at the back there. One of their starting defenders going off. Mate, in terms of the subs today, obviously we've got Kepa, Cucurella, Chalobah, Gallagher, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, Ziyech, and Broja. When you're looking at the guys that are missing from the squad, you like to see your Timo Werners and stuff like that. Do you think that very much indicates not part of the plans you're going. And mate, are you surprised, given that Hakim Ziyech, who actively wants to leave the club, is in the squad today over someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi?
Yes, I mean, if that's true, I mean, we don't know.
Well, he's in the squad. I mean, he's chose not on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, for Werner, I think it's pretty clear, isn't it? That,
yeah.
You know, if he's not getting in front of some of those players that you just mentioned, I think it's clear that he's not part of the plans. Especially if Cucurella literally signed yesterday and he's in the squad.
Werner's not part of the plans.
Yeah, you'd probably say Werner should be in the squad, and you'd say to Cucurella, you've only just signed, just watch this one, sit this one out. But obviously, he's made a statement of intent there to leave, and particularly a forward player who costs that much and could, be useful in a game like this. But it's not Werner, so I think that says it all, really.
Mate, by the way, this stoppage in place quite long, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm on 14 minutes, just over 14 minutes, and he's still warming up. He hasn't actually officially come on yet.
Yeah, mate, I'm a minute behind.
Obviously, we hope he's okay. He's got the oxygen at the moment. So
it didn't even look that bad.
No, I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether it could be a fracture, could be a break, could have.
It looked a little bit innocuous, but I mean, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't take much.
Is that Paul Clement behind Frank as well?
Yeah, I think Clement's in the coaching team as well, mate.
Mate, is this just a Chelsea? Is this just a Chelsea?
He just got a yeah. I don't know. But mate,
it's a big stoppage.
It's a big stoppage.
Ideal for Chelsea, though. I think a stoppage just kills the ground, kills the atmosphere.
What have you made of the opening 15 minutes? I know like the last 2 or 3 minutes has been a stoppage, but I mean, Kai Havertz, I feel, should probably do a little bit better with that opportunity, do something a bit quicker. I think for me, Havertz is almost, I think it feels like he's half asleep when he's on the ball. I just feel like he doesn't see things quick enough. Could have done a little bit better there, personally. But I mean, what have you made of the first 15 minutes? Other than that short pass back, mate, with the opportunity that led to that injury, haven't really created very much. Obviously, with the header from Koulibaly from the James Cross. I mean, it's been a steady start, though. We haven't really conceded many chances either.
I think it's a pretty ideal start. The first game of the season away from home, your first task is to keep it tight and to not give the crowd anything. And that's exactly what's happened. We've got a bit of fortune with the fact that there's been a stoppage, which helps with that. But 15 minutes in, to not give them any hope or chances either is quite a positive for me. And I think this stoppage will kill it. Crowd will, mellow down and we can get on playing the game that we need to play. I agree with the Havertz one. I think a lot of the players are just they're reactive rather than proactive. They don't, sometimes it's so obvious what to do and they just haven't thought about it before, or a couple of steps ahead, which is, the very intelligent players always are a couple of steps ahead, scanning 3-4 times before they receive the ball. Havertz is not someone that I think does that.
No.
But look, I think Everton at any point of the season, you'd be happy with a point. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, it's a tough place to go. But I suppose, like, for us, though, mate, I'm not saying we're going to win the title, but if you're looking to close the gap, you're looking to challenge for Premier League titles, these are the sort of away grounds you've got to go to, whether it's the start, middle, end of the season. You need to get 3 points. Like, Liverpool go there and get 3 points. City will go there and get 3 points. Like last season, they did. I'm not saying they'll definitely do it, but these are the sort of grounds that you've got to go to and get 3 points if you're going to be taken seriously.
And we have in the past, I think, when we won, I think it was a mad game, like 6-3 or something. Costa.
Yeah, it was 6-3.
That was the season we won the league. I think Pedro scored a really good one in the top bins away at Everton when we were with Conte. That was another big one. So, I agree, mate. I mean, you need to win these big games away from home. I mean, that's the point. And our away form has actually been very good.
It's the home form that was the problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the home form. And I think that's something that I'm definitely going to be looking at. The other thing I'm going to be looking at this season is our performances against the top 6. Can we turn some of those draws into wins? Because we did draw a lot of them. We obviously drew to Manchester United both times, drew to Liverpool both times, beat Spurs away, but can't remember the home game.
Oh, we beat them as well at home.
Beat them as well, so we did the double over Spurs.
We did a double, yeah.
Arsenal lost at home, which wasn't good.
Yeah, we done. Yeah. It's been tricky, but mate, we made a chilly start. Obviously this little stoppage will actually probably do them a favour. Have a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm ahead now. So the first corner's just come in and it's been headed away by Holgate for another corner. So we've got a second attempt here with James from the corner.
Mate, what minutes are you on the clock? I'm on 17.
18.
Oh, you're a minute ahead of me. Yeah.
Well, you can guess what happened with that corner, can't you? Go on, tell me.
Didn't beat the first man.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, standard.
So Sterling's coming over now to say, James, fuck off. I'll take it. Oh, they've taken a short one. Shillings. Mount. Oh, great save from Pickford down to his right from Mount. Another corner.
Mate, how big a season do you think it is for Mason Mount this year? Like, how important is it that he builds on what he done last season as well? Because it's a phenomenal season last season. You would think with Sterling coming in, there's less pressure, I suppose, on him to constantly be the go-to man to do something. I mean, or do you think it could elevate his game as well? Because he could learn so much from someone like Sterling.
I think it helps having a English international teammate with you. I think that helps. It's not so much centralised around Mount having to create something a bit like the Havertz Hazard situation where we expected Hazard to create everything for us. I think now there are options, particularly with Sterling. The focus is on Sterling being the new signing, so I think it actually gives Mount a bit of a freedom to express himself a little bit more. But I don't think there is much pressure on Mount to improve. I think the numbers last season were probably he overachieved. I think they were good. Obviously, I think people just always compare Mount to we want the next Frank Lampard, but Frank Lampard's
not that
like
sort
the
of
top
player.
1% of players that go on to not just be Premier League players, but also like all-time greats. I mean, you just don't see Gerrards and Lampards these days in midfield scoring that amount of goals in a season. You just don't.
I've just seen that. So I've just seen that shot that was parried out. Yeah, nice. Not a bad effort. I mean, mate, I think we're settling into this game quite well, building a bit of pressure up. Everton haven't really done anything. They've not offered very much, but as you say, like we've seen it time and time again with Chelsea. You'll be dominating the game, have a lot of chances, and then the other team goes up the other end and puts one away. Like it's all about it's fine margins, isn't it?
Curse the commentary, because as you said that, they just played a lovely ball in and Koulibaly got perfectly in between.
I know I'm a little bit behind, mate, but how shit have some of these corners been? That one from James that just went straight out.
I just don't know how we do it. It just seems to be Chelsea the only side who can't beat a near post for some reason. The ball came in, Koulibaly got perfectly in between the two, Gordon and I can't remember who the other one is, but
probably.
Perfect timing. Got the header away. Really nice. That'll give him confidence. And then Pickford's just absolutely done the classic Pickford where he's tried to dribble it and he's cocked it right into the stands.
Yeah, mate, the setters are decent. Mate, the set pieces are dreadful. Like, there's nothing in between. It's either a really good delivery and we get a goal from it, or it doesn't beat the first man or just goes straight out the opposite side.
And it's something we should be good at, because I think we've got Reece James is one of the best deliveries on the football.
We've got some very good football, and Chilwell can take decent corners. Mount can take decent corners. I'm not really sure what Damari Gray into the box. Oh yeah, it's clear. That's what you're just on about. I don't know, mate. It's a steady start, and I think the most important thing is 20 minutes in, you've not conceded.
Yeah,
that's the key.
I'm sure people who are watching live have just seen that Raheem Sterling's just been kicked to the ground inside the box, and for some reason the referee's given a free kick the other way. Not quite sure how. He's all over Raheem Sterling. All of them are. No one's winning the football. 3 surround him and just try and kick him while he's on the floor. I think just classic refereeing, where because someone's fallen on the football, they think, they've got to give it the other way, because I think that's ridiculous. But
mate, Everton are quite dirty, to be fair, as well.
Dirty team.
Mate, they are dirty. Also, mate, have you noticed that TT's ditched the cap? No cap.
Yes, he has ditched the cap, which I'm surprised is particularly on an August day.
TT always wears the cap. He needs that cap back on.
It's funny how everyone used to wear a suit being managers, and now
trackies gaffers, mate. Yeah, mate, I'd always be a trackies gaffer. That's the Sterling chance. Yeah. Mate. No hat for TT. Mate, he needs to put that cap back on. That is the lucky hat. It's almost like Tony Pulis, mate, always wearing a cap.
Oh yeah, Tony Pulis' cap was classic. Yeah, that was absolutely classic.
Wearing that shitty Stoke hat from the club shop.
Can you get the TT hat, or is it one of?
Mate, I think it's just a club shop hat, mate. This is the standard cap. I think you can get it on at the mega store.
Really?
Mate, I don't know about you, mate. I'm just not sure if we're lacking a bit of physical presence up top. Like, Sterling's not a physical presence. These are like quick and nifty players. I mean, Havertz should be physical presence, but I just don't feel like he knows how to kind of bully centre halves like a Costa or like a Drogba did. Do you think we lack?
This is the thing. I agree. I think we're one of the most. I think we're one of the strongest at the back in terms of physical presence in the league.
Oh yeah,
going forward,
great at the back. Yeah,
we've got the polar opposite going forward. I think we're one of the weakest.
Yeah, I would agree. You wouldn't say Mount and Sterling are, physical players, as it were. Havertz has got the build and the capabilities to be, but he doesn't really seem to be using it very often. I don't know, you just feel in the big away games where the centre halves are going to rough you up and stuff. Like, have we really got the forward players to cope with that physicality?
Oh my God, sorry, mate. Oh, that
What was
unbelievable. What a save that is from Edouard Mendy. That's one of the saves of the season already. Cross came in, half volleyed cross back into the box. Don't know who's headed that, but that is a great reaction save. I mean, it's about 8 yards out, and he's tipped it over the bar. Wonderful save from Mendy.
So lucky to still be in it.
Well, I mean, it was going in. I mean, it could have hit the crossbar, but the fact that he's managed to tip that over, I think that's an outstanding save. Outstanding.
Oh, was it from a corner? Is it?
Well, no, the corner comes in and then it's gone straight over everyone and it's crossed back in.
Yeah.
So
back to that physical presence, mate. Do you think that's a problem? Because I know you look at Liverpool, there's not really much physical presence up there as such. Obviously, City have now got Haaland as a physical presence. Not a lot of teams have got physical presence up there, but it can be very useful. I don't even think we've got physical presence from the bench really at the top end of the pitch.
Well, I think it matters in games like this where you expect a physical battle, but it doesn't necessarily. I mean, we had a physical presence.
That's a great save.
He didn't do anything.
I don't know if that's going in. I'm not sure if that's going in or not, but that's a good save. I think that's Tarkowski with a header, isn't it?
Great save. Yeah, and I mean, looked at Arsenal last night. They're not particularly, physical with Smith Rowe, Saka, and
forwards,
Jesus. No. But it's have you got the pace? Have you got someone who's, skillful on the ball on the half turn? And it's the relationship between the front three. Can you mix up? Can you play those killer balls in from midfield? I mean, I think that's more important. I think that's where the game's moved on again. I think gone are your kind of Alan Shearers of the world.
Yeah, some teams will have them, but there's very few teams that play with an out-and-out 9.
Yeah, not with a focal point. I mean, Calvert-Lewin is actually one of them who probably does.
I think he's so average.
He's good in the air, though. You've got to give him that.
I think he's just shit. I obviously can't do any better, but I just think he's crap, mate.
I wouldn't say shit,
mate. He's so average.
I'd say he's an average Premier League striker, but
yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think sometimes it does hinder us in games, but then I think we make up for it for how physical we are at the back. And here's a chance.
Yeah, no, we are physical at the back. Yeah, no, we are. I mean, mate, I haven't seen Chile get forward too much. I mean, most of it seems to be going down the right-hand side, doesn't it, rather than the left-hand side. Not much has come Chilwell's way, really, in this game so far. He's not had much to do defensively. And I suppose he's not really contributed much in attack either because the ball just hasn't come to that side. A lot of it's coming down this right-hand side. No,
and interestingly, I think something Chelsea have worked on tactically, probably because we're so shit at delivering corners, we've actually done our second short corner of the game already. Again, it's Raheem Sterling picking it up, and he's done one of the players at the near post and then just tried to loft the ball in that's been headed away. But it's certainly something that Chelsea never used to do with the short corner. So I think that's something.
No, mate. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really a fan. I've got to be honest with you. I don't really like short corners. But
I don't. But I think if you've got someone like Sterling,
though, either way, if you're going up from the back and a shit ball comes in, you're going to be pissed. And if you do a short corner and it still ends up being shit, then yeah, I suppose.
I don't mind if you're trying to get a different angle, but I hate it when they play the short corner and then they just basically don't play the ball in the box anyway. Especially if you as a defender, you're
it ends up going all the way back to the goalkeeper. That is bullshit when that happens. But
I think we started pretty well, mate. I think it's turning into a bit of an end-to-end at the moment with both teams getting chances. But
yeah, I think it's a solid start. I don't know. I just don't think much has happened. We haven't really done anything.
Again, there was a bit of a counter-attack from Everton. Again, ball played in for the left. Gordon just glances it, but way wide of the post. It's gone up for a goal kick. But
mate, not much. Do you think we're playing well?
I
think we're doing all right.
Nothing. I think we've settled well. We're starting to be a little bit more panicked now.
I just don't think we created that much.
I think Koulibaly and Silva have had a bit of a mix-up there and just given the ball away cheaply in our own half. And just, again, curse of the common.
Oh, what's this?
We're not so. We look a bit trying to struggle to get passes together.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but I mean, we're about almost half hour in. I suppose the positive situation is that we've not conceded a goal. But you'd probably say Everton have had the best chances, or the best chance.
Yeah, definitely had the best chance. Our best chance was obviously the Mason Mount one. Theirs was the header that was saved by Mendy. So probably say a decent chance apiece. Theirs was the best. But naturally, you'd think we've had more possession, which you would expect.
Yeah, I mean, mate, would you take a draw in this game? I know, like there's still about an hour to go. But would you take the draw?
I think so. Again, it depends how the game plays out. I think we miss a hatful of clear-cut opportunities. You're almost a bit pissed that you get the draw. But
I mean, to be fair, the options we've got from the bench, the 5 subs and the quality we've got on that bench, I think that could be the difference maker. Everton just don't have that sort of squad. They certainly haven't got those kind of attacking options on the pitch. I mean, do you think we could, second half of it still 0-0, not saying at half time, but get towards the hour mark? Do you think we could potentially be seeing the likes of Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, Broja, maybe Pulisic? I mean, there's so many options there to switch things up.
And that could perhaps be the difference for a lot of big sides this season, in the fact that you've got, the amount of changes from 3 to 5. I think particularly with the better teams like Chelsea in the top 6, it does make a huge difference to have those quality of players coming on. And you've got the options to change it that drastically. Almost half the outfield players can be changed.
Well, half the outfield players can be. There's only 10 outfielders. You can change half the team now.
10 outfield, yeah, of course, yeah. Sorry, maths isn't great. That has been.
So yeah, mate. How many times do you do that GCSE maths? 3?
And the rest.
and the rest, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, I bet you've got that certificate framed, mate. You don't want to lose that.
Yeah, I have. I've got it. I've got it up on the wall. Don't worry about
that. But oh man, I forgot what you were saying now. Oh yeah,
about the
5 subs. That's going to make. I think. Yeah, I understand why perhaps some of the smaller teams were slightly maybe against it as such, but for me, it's such a big plus for us, because it's also a massive plus when you're playing midweek games as well, because you can rest a lot more players. You can now rest an extra 2 players before, and also with English clubs now shouldn't be at a disadvantage in the Champions League, because last season at Champions League we were the only team. We were the only league in football basically that didn't have 5 subs in the league. So you get to Europe and you'd be at a disadvantage because everyone else had 5 subs going into those games, players with more rest. And obviously we go in with just the 3 subs. So hopefully in Champions League football, players should be more rested for midweek. So that should make a massive difference as well.
100%. Yeah.
But there's some quality on there. I mean, who would you like to see most? I mean, I'd love to see Conor Gallagher come on and do something.
I think we'd all like to see Conor Gallagher at some point today. Probably won't get much time.
Interested to see Broja?
Yeah, again, Broja's another one I'd probably expect. Definitely would probably see Pulisic, Kovacic at some point, definitely. And then you're looking at, I'd probably like to see Gallagher out of all of them. Broja would be an interesting one, but again, that's not a risk, I'd say, but I think it's probably a step down in class from what we've got out there.
Yeah, I would agree, mate. How impressed have you been with Sterling so far? For me, he's one of the guys that just picks the ball up and runs. We don't have enough people that do that in the team. Obviously, I know you're a little bit ahead of me, but that run he's just made to win a free kick, just slightly in from the right-hand side. We just don't have attackers that do that. I mean, out of the front 3, he's really been the standout one, hasn't he, so far? Obviously, Havertz has not done much. Mount's had an opportunity, but other than that, not been that involved in the game. Sterling's definitely been the most involved, for sure.
Yeah, he's looking good. And again, because I'm ahead of you, he's just played a nice ball into Havertz, who's won another corner. So he's creating those passes in behind the lines and breaking the lines quite nicely, I think. And he's getting into positions where he's available, which is good. And definitely, he probably has been the brightest. And I think it's obvious that Chelsea, as a team, are trying to use him as that creative.
He's going to be like that. He's like the main. I think he's the main attacking force.
Yeah, I mean, we must have had so many corners in this game because this is our 9th corner, mate, already coming up.
Mate, how have we not created any chances from these corners?
Again, near post, headed away, another corner. James has obviously taken them on that for the in swinger on the left-hand side.
Mate, what have you made of Havertz so far in this game? About 32, 33 minutes, and about 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes from the break.
I think Bright. I think he's making the right runs. Sterling's obviously finding him. It's just can he do it? Can he just get a shot on goal? I mean, we haven't had.
Do you think we just need more from him?
Well, we definitely need more from him. Yeah, but again, have we found his best position? Have we? Has he had a clear cut opportunity in the game? No. I think he's doing all right. He's putting certainly a lot more effort in than he has done in previous games for Chelsea, where he would just do nothing. I mean, he is making those runs.
Yeah, no, he's trying. I'm not saying he's not trying, but I don't know. Maybe we're just being like over ambitious, like unrealistic in what we should be expecting from a centre forward. But I don't know. I just feel like I expect a lot more. I'm not saying like you're not going to play well every game, but I know he's not a proper centre forward. But at the same time, I just feel like I expect a bit more. I mean, George, I know we've still got a bit of the window left and that. Do you still think that getting another forward player in is a massive priority? I don't know. I'd be happy going into the season with what we've got at the moment. I just don't think it's enough.
No. You'd like to think that, as a manager, he will improve the front players that we've got already. And it only takes one or two and, to get their goals up, and all of a sudden it's not a problem. But I think
it's just doing that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the hard thing, isn't it? And we've had a couple of years where it just hasn't worked, and I think it's clear as day again. In a game like this, 34 minutes in, we've had a half chance from Mason Mount from outside the box. Really, just nothing that's clear cut. Nothing, and even if we do get clear cut, there's absolutely no guarantee from our forward line that they're going to finish it.
That's the problem.
I just like to see a bit more. We're just not the type of team that takes a lot of chance outside the box, takes a lot of shots in general. It's all a bit predictable. I think Sterling does add that element of mystery where perhaps players can't read him as well. But yeah, I think I personally, if I was the manager or owner, I would definitely be adding to the forward line. But who that is, I don't know.
I just think we've got to. Obviously, we think Werner is probably most likely to leave. Ziyech could also leave as well. That's two out. That needs minimum one more. I know right now it's not the priority. The priority is getting another defender. But at the same time, I think we desperately need a forward player. Just someone that's a bit different, maybe a bit more of an out-and-out goal scorer. I mean, I know not much happening at the moment in the game, but just, in terms of the other day, mate, like reports coming out, that, we're linked with Aubameyang. And I'm just thinking, mate, I was thinking like, well, Aubameyang, 32, 33? If we're looking at signing an aging forward on a short-term deal, why are we not going for Ronaldo? Why would Aubameyang be on the list, but Ronaldo was said no to? I don't understand that. To be honest, my preference would probably be Memphis Depay, if that was possible. I think he's surplus to requirements at Barca, looking for a way out. Could be available on free if he can buy himself out of his contract. Is that something that would interest you, Memphis Depay? Got versatility, got good ability.
Yes, definitely one of the players that I would be looking at. Just looking at how we're playing and approaching this game, though, again, a lot of balls into the box, and we just don't have an area. No one in there. No one with an aerial presence to really challenge in the box. I don't really understand the thinking of, using Chilwell and James to get balls in the box, but for who? It's almost like.
Oh, mate, we used to have it last season as well, mate. We'd have Lukaku on, and then as soon as we subbed him off, we'd then start putting loads of balls into the box. Like it just didn't make sense.
No, it's almost in the game that we've had now with 10 corners and all these balls in the box, you almost wish Lukaku was here. But I don't. At the moment, I don't see how it's working. How we're getting into these good positions, getting balls into the box. You just have no faith that Havertz is going to be able to
reach James ball into the box. Just nothing there again. It just goes all the way through.
Yeah,
I mean, Mount doesn't quite get Chile doesn't quite get it, but yeah, they're putting balls into the box, but there's just no one seems to be there.
And I feel like that's going to be a continuous problem throughout the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be a continuous problem throughout the whole seaon, if we're being totally honest.
Yeah. Kante with an unbelievable recovery challenge there in the box.
There's no point lying to ourselves. Mate, do you think there could be any changes at half-time? It's a bit early, isn't it? I don't think there's been enough wrong. Maybe in our opinions there might have been, but I don't think Tuchel will look at it and think, right, 0-0 at half-time if we get to it at half-time. I think he'll be happy to continue for at least another 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think there's been too wrong to suggest that we need to drastically change it. Again, you'd probably be happy with 0-0 anyway at this stage of a game. We've got the advantage as it opens up because we've got the quality of players to come off the bench and make something happen. You'd expect probably Jorginho off for Kovacic or Kante coming off for Kovacic as one. Pulisic possibly.
Do you think Chilwell sees out the whole game? I'd be surprised if he played out a full 90. I'd expect Cucurella to come on.
Do you really think Cucurella to come on? Well, I suppose there's no harm in doing that.
Mate, do you really think? Well, you think Chile can play a full 90? First proper game back. That's not pre-season.
Well, he's had a whole pre-season under his belt.
Oh, Everton looking a bit dangerous here. Ball across the box. Oh, it's blocked. Yeah, it's nice. That was the Kante interception you're on about there. A few things in the chat. Sterling and Lukaku could have been a good combo potentially. Maybe it could have been a good combo. Obviously, unfortunately, we'll never find out. Back for extra attacker on in the second half. No creativity. Yeah, we are struggling to create. It's been a problem for a long time. No one creative. You look at the team, George. Where's the creativity coming from? Mount's not overly creative. Havertz isn't creative. Sterling is creative, but there's no creativity in that midfield. Kante and Jorginho aren't creative. And if Reece James and Chile don't create any chances, then that's kind of it.
Well, again, the build-up's just all too slow and predictable where they've already.
But there's no one that picks a pass out, is there? You know, like a Fabregas would, like someone that just picks. I mean, Jorginho can do it because we've seen him do it on occasions, but kind of on a regularly consistent basis. There's no one with an ability to pick a pass out.
I think we've got
some
really good areas.
Decent pass.
Yeah, but I'm slightly
edge of the box. Oh no, it's fizzled out into fuck all. That's great.
So I'm slightly ahead of you, and we're getting into nice positions on both flanks, but again, balls coming into the box and balls
into the box just getting cleared. There's fuck all people there.
Oh, here's a chance. Sterling running with it. Mount. Oh, block, great block from the defenders there.
Mate, 5 minutes to the break. Wait, would you say we've looked the better? Would you say we've been a better side this first half so far, or would you say it's even?
Still? I think it's even. I mean, what an opportunity for Everton to get away there. You'll see it in a minute. And Thiago Silva's just stuck out a back leg and blocked the pass through, which would have been a one-on-one chance for Everton there. Azpilicueta gets done on a sixpence on the high up the pitch.
That's not what you want, mate. To be honest, though, this back three. Do you think it's a problem, mate, that this back three is all like Thiago Silva almost 40, Aspie mid-30s, and Koulibaly 31? I mean, do you think it's a problem that it's quite aging?
It
or
can
that
be.
Shouldn't really matter too much?
It can be, but I think age is only a number in professional.
I suppose defensively it doesn't really matter too much.
Particularly in a team where we tend to control the ball a lot. There'll be very few games in the season where we're actually not on top and we have to sit back. You're looking at probably Liverpool, City.
Block shot. I think that's the one you were just on.
Yeah, and then you'll see the counter in a minute.
Oh, mate, there's a big opportunity, isn't it, coming forward? Gray absolutely fucked that. That was such a poor pass from him. That was so shit from Gray.
But you see, Aspie got absolutely done there.
Mate, what do you think of Aspie signing a new... Whilst we're on Aspie, mate, what do you reckon? What do you think of him signing a new 2-year deal? Are you surprised?
I am surprised. Yeah, I'm definitely surprised, but it's a good surprise. I think he's a
worth keeping around.
I think so. I think club captain, great professional. He's still got something to offer.
I don't think he's going to play every week anyway, is he? I mean,
no, good squad player, mate, and he's careful what you wish for, really. Oh, mate.
Oh, we're not losing, are we?
No, disallowed goal, offside from Sterling.
No, fuck's sake. Is it definitely
Kante
offside?
With a shot from the edge of the box. Pickford absolutely spills it. Simple save, completely spills it back into the danger zone. Sterling just picks up the pieces, taps it in from 6 yards to make it 1-0. He is offside. Just looked at it, so yeah.
Mate, Pickford's spilling it, mate.
Pickford's been poor in this game. I think he's still.
Honestly, mate, I hate Pickford. He's such a cock. He is, mate. He's just one of them people, one of those players that it's like if you're like playing against him and you're losing, like he's one of the worst time wasters ever. Like he'll just get the ball and he'll just fall on it and he'll just lie there for about 30 seconds.
I do think he's a good goalkeeper. He's a good shot stopper.
Still think he's England's
he
number
has his
one?
Moments.
I think Ramsdale's better than him.
I would like to see Ramsdale be given an opportunity. Definitely.
Goal, spill. Yeah, there it is. An offside. Yeah.
Yeah, he is offside. But
Mate,
again,
Sterling,
in the right
Sterling
in the right area.
Sterling thought he wasn't off.
Well, it's good that he was in the right area.
Yeah, good in the right area, picking the pieces up. It's interesting from Damien Duff in the chat. What is Chelsea's style of play, really? I don't really know. This is kind of a problem because, you sort of look at Liverpool and City as, and I hate to keep using them as the examples, even Arsenal to an extent as well, teams that have got a style of play, a distinct style of play. We don't really have one, do we?
Well, I think we're just more of a defensively set up to not lose a game is always our premise. I think that's the first
That's what
thing
you think, mate. Do you think? Oh, mate, Gareth Gates is actually at this game.
Yeah, Gareth Gates is at the game. Yeah, he's watching.
Gareth Shitgate, there he is.
I think we're always set up to not lose a game. I think that's our first.
Do you think we set up to not lose rather than to win?
Well, I think Thomas Tuchel sets up for both, but I think Chelsea have always been quite, we're not like City where we say, right, as long as we score 5, it doesn't matter if we concede 4. I don't think Chelsea's thought process thinking is like that.
I don't think we can score. Mate, the amount of
times that's the point.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, if we let 1 in, it's actually a real problem.
That's the point. I think Thomas Tuchel knows we can't score many goals, so he thinks, right, if we're defensively sound and we keep it any game at 0-0 and we get half a chance, we could win a football match. Chelsea aren't a side who create a lot of chances. Very possession based, very slow build up.
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, I know. I said that Jorginho obviously should be in there, and he isn't played badly today, but he does slow everything down. If you're trying to build up a counter attack from the back and it goes through him, everything does seem to slow down. He likes to hold on to the ball, slow things down. And I think sometimes
that's why I just wish Chelsea was a bit more.
Us.
And that's why I just wish Chelsea would just sacrifice that one position. I don't think we need Kante and Jorginho. I think you just play one, and then you have someone like, you could play Mount in there. You could play just a more experimental number 8 or 10. Just someone with a bit more, can spray passes, a bit of a Paul Scholes, Steven Gerrard type player who just, has shots from outside the box regularly, pings the ball, switches the play.
Yeah, I say no one really actually shoots, do they?
Not for Chelsea, not from outside the box, because we don't really have anyone like that other than maybe Mount, James from distance at an angle, Alonso sometimes.
Mate, I do feel that a couple of times as well, Everton have just run through us in midfield, like there's football there.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of Kante's obviously got all the pace, but Jorginho can easily get done.
Playing this system, obviously there's only going to be two midfield players because of the wing backs. But it's quite easy to get through midfield. We're always going to be a man down in midfield. The best we're going to be is equal because not many teams play 3 at the back. So they normally play 3 in midfield, generally speaking. We're always going to be a man down in midfield. I mean, that can create a bit of an issue. I know one of the forward players could drop in a little bit and create sort of a 3-5-2, as it were, but the midfield is quite open. That's fucking
I forgot
about that stoppage.
They're not on it.
8 minutes added on.
Yeah, if the 2 centre midfielders aren't on it and they're not playing the passes accurately, it does become a real problem. You do get very isolated very quickly, and things can turn from a good situation to a very, very bad situation. Here comes Chelsea. There's a chance.
Mate, Tuchel not looking too happy on the sidelines there. It's been frustrating, hasn't it, mate? We started okay. I just feel as the half's gone on, it's got a bit more frustrating, and
it feels to me a bit like we're not quite up to speed.
Well, there's that, and I know it's early days still, but it's also looking like, mate, that we haven't really. Nothing seems to look much different from last season.
I'm already seeing a bit more of an attacking. Getting in between the lines a little bit better with Sterling's creativity. Definitely seeing that. He's got into good areas, won us some decent set pieces, particularly from corners. I mean, we've had a record amount of corners in this bloody half, but it's been the delivery that's been poor, and the end focal point on the delivery, which has been Havertz, really not offering anything, holding it up or getting a header on it. Again, we've got all that height in the box, just a free header for the centre back to just clear it for Everton.
That's the thing. We put balls in the middle. Oh, Sterling. Oh, that's Kante. Edge of the box. Oh, everything's just fucking blocked.
Yeah, Frank's definitely taken something out of Mourinho's scrapbook about parking the bus in this one.
Oh, mate, Frank would take the point now, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
He definitely would.
We've got to make one of these corners pay.
Look, there's a nice bit of build-up play, sometimes in and around the box, but when it comes to that killer pass and that decisive moment, we just don't seem to have it. I just don't think we've really been any better. I don't think we looked that much better than we did at the back end of last season. I know obviously it's not going to suddenly turn up first game and we're going to be phenomenal, but I haven't really seen anything that looks too much different from last season, really.
No. Another short corner from Chelsea.
Chilly with that short corner. I don't know. I think you might be you're still a bit ahead of me. I'm not sure this is the Chilly corner.
No.
Oh shit! Just headed straight away, edge of the box, blocked again. Mate, everything's fucking blocked all
I've
the
been
time.
impressed with Koulibaly this half, I have to say.
Yeah, I think he's looked good. I mean, the defense has been solid, but I think we knew that. These are experienced pros. The three centre backs I think have been very decent. Coped with things well. There's not been an awful lot to do. Thiago Silva with a great interception. Koulibaly doing well as well. Aspie did get spun that time, but I don't think. Yeah, defensively I think we've been good, but there's no. What's Joe saying? There's no one else on Sterling's level in attack. No attacking patterns or identity. Yeah, the attack is a problem. No, other than Mount's been a bit anonymous this game. He's had a few opportunities, and I don't want to feel like I'm picking on Havertz because I'm not, but it's not offering anything. I mean, am I watching a different game to you? Am I being harsh on Havertz, or do you actually think? I just think he's offered fuck all this half.
Yeah, I think Havertz has been poor, but Mount and Sterling seem to be working well.
Short one, edge of the box. Chilly whips it in, doesn't beat the first man. Fuck's sake, mate! How have we got worse at corners and stuff? We've had about 11 corners this half.
I know, it's mental, isn't it? The amount of corners we've had, and we haven't really made one decent opportunity from it. It's pretty poor.
It is poor. I really I don't know, mate. What have you made? Oh, it's virtually half time now. What have you made of this first half? I mean, we should probably be going in level at the break. I mean,
yeah, I think that's fair.
Look, I think we're not losing, which is a big plus, but I don't think we've done much.
No, haven't done much. It's similar stories, isn't it? Chelsea struggling to create.
We're keeping the ball. We move it around nicely, but we're struggling to create any decent opportunities. Mount with the one shot. I think the build-up play is just too slow.
Yeah, I
know we to get the ball and we're playing it sideways or we play it backwards. I would much rather someone get the ball and give it away, trying to play like a delicate through pass or just trying something and give it away, rather than just constantly recycling the ball backwards. Because if you keep trying, eventually it will pay off. Like one of those passes will work.
There was a half chance there; it just didn't fall right to Sterling.
Who's this Gordon coming? Oh yeah, he's been dispossessed by Reece there. Nice. But yeah, mate, do you agree with that or not? Like we should just, instead of just keeping it, playing short, simple passes. I'm okay with someone giving it away as long as they're trying. Chelsea. Penalty.
Yeah, penalty to Chelsea.
Oh, fantastic.
Chilwell breaks through, just about to shoot inside the box, goes down. Referee points straight to it. He'll have a look.
Definite pen.
I haven't seen the replay, but I'm having a look.
Are they checking it on the VAR?
It's a penalty for me.
Mate, you're not the man that matters, though. That's the problem.
No, I'm VAR for this afternoon. I said that.
Are you, mate? Have you got fucking, what's his name, Mike Dean in your ear from Stockley Park? Yeah.
Decore comes right across him, doesn't make any attempt to get the ball. I think he's looked at it, given it already. Jorginho on the pen, mate. Here we go. This will be ideal.
Please don't fucking miss. Don't.
So he's scored 4 of his last 5.
Oh, well, just don't fuck this up, Georgie.
Oh, Everton trying to cock us by just standing around the penalty area.
Fuck off, Everton. Oh, yeah,
it's been booked. It's been booked.
Yeah, pen.
This would be ideal because it's been.
I mean, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Is he going to do the step, or is he just going to go for it? Because he's done this. Yerry Mina, by the way, yellow card.
Yellow card for that user. Good.
Oh, this would be so good. This would be such a game killer for them, considering they're literally minutes away from half time. Well, they are. This is going to be.
This is the last kick, isn't it?
Oh, come on, Georgie.
Come on. Mate, what's this? A big hold up for this pen, mate. This half has been fucking long.
Right, here we go.
There we go.
Who's going to blow the whistle? Steps up.
Oh,
here we go.
There we go.
He scores. He scores 1-0.
Fucking get in.
Keeper
1-0 to the Chelsea.
Goes to the left. Keeper goes to the left. Jorginho slots it in the bottom corner to the right. 1-0. Yes, Jorginho.
Yes, get in.
Well, he was the one player I was probably going to take off, so that might change now.
No, mate, he gets that pen. Man, I don't know why. I've just bring that. Might as well have that score up on the.
Didn't do the step this time, though.
No step. Well, to be fair, mate, the step could be shit, but yeah, I think that's deserved. We've got a few comments to get to. Great pass from Koulibaly to Chilwell. Beautiful pen. Yeah, lovely pen. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice for Lamps to come on and take that. Yeah, why not?
Georgie, top goal scorer for the season. It's not bad.
Mate, to be fair, mate, he always is. He's always in and around there because he takes the pens. Like, it's one of those, isn't it? He takes the pens, and we get a few pens a season. He's normally up and around there. And I guess that's not a disrespect on him. That's a massive fucking disrespect on the attackers because how they can't really just highlights lack of goals.
It's also got a nice stat that's come up on the screen of opening day. He's got 3 goals in his last 5 opening day games. So,
mate, should have had a little flutter on him to score. That is half time. 1-0 to the Blues. Promising half.
Come on.
Yeah, deserved it. I mean, George, do you think now Everton are going to have to come out a bit more? This could actually favour us. We can sit off a little bit, and then we can kind of pick them off. Maybe try and hit them on the counter. Or do you think? I mean, we've seen this a lot of times before. I feel we've got to go for a second. This game at 1-0 is not done.
No, how many times have we tried to do that and we end up not because we can't score. We end up drawing the game because we haven't killed off the game. I think but for me the message is increase the intensity, push for the killer blow, which would be 2-0. I think, particularly in the game as it's been, they haven't really created anything clear cut other than the header. But a perfect time to score, mate, completely kills their the team talk completely changes. They're going to have to come out now, which suits us because I think the counter attack will get more chances. Yeah. And we've just got to find that killer goal.
We need that second one. Black Diamond, big up. How to watch the match live? I don't know where you're tuning in from around the world, but I mean, if you're in the UK, then it's on Sky Sports. So if you've got Sky Sports, you can obviously tune in on there. If you don't, I don't know what other countries are broadcasting it, but you can obviously, if you've got Twitter, just go on there, type in live stream Chelsea Everton, and there'll be loads there. Just pick one of those and tune in, mate. Guys, it would also be a good point to say that if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. Very close to 1.2k now, but I think it's about 3 or 4 subs. So if you're tuning in now and you've not subscribed, please do subscribe, guys. We'd really appreciate all of the support. But yeah, please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Smash the likes. Let's get us to 1.2k. We're not too far away now, so yeah, please do that. It would be greatly appreciated, people. Yeah, I agree with you, RD, for sure. What was it here? Yeah, Koulibaly and Sterling have been standout players. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they've been the ones that have definitely shown the most, done the most. In that regard, I think we've done well this half. Not to concede, a great save from Edouard Mendy, obviously keeping us in it. But other than that, I think, I don't know. I think it's been solid. It's not been spectacular, but at the end of the day, the start of the season is just all about getting the results, all about getting those results. And then as the weeks progress, the performances will start to improve and go with them. We'll get fitter. New players will feel more bedded in and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a big plus to be 1-0 up at Everton. It's a tricky place to go. We haven't got a good record there, so to get that penalty at the end, I think you could say maybe it's a little bit lucky for us, a bit fortuitous. But at the same time, I think we've put ourselves in a good position. We've taken advantage of the set play, and yes, whilst we've been defensive at times and it's not been a great watch, we are doing better. Oh, here he is back in the mix.
Sorry, mate, not sure what happened there.
No, it's all good, mate. All good, mate. You're getting yourself a little half-time snack.
I am looking at the snacks. Yeah, I'm just looking at that.
Yeah, guys in the chat, what sort of snack should George get? He's watching his figure at the moment. what are we thinking? Hit him up with some snack suggestions.
I think prime athlete, so I need like...
No, not prime athlete. Yeah, mate, Mate, nice
He's
little,
quite
nice,
large.
nice little half-time orange, mate.
Half-time orange.
Look at you rustling about in there.
Well, I heard some rustling in pre-match. Do you want to share what you were actually eating?
No, I had a few sweets. No shame, mate. No shame.
Whereas I'm going for
but yeah,
some
mate.
gourmet rice snacks.
Mate, get those rice snacks down, you mate. But yeah, 1-0 at half time. Yeah. I mean, George, we take it, don't we, mate? We take it.
Oh, we take it all day long, mate. I don't care how scrappy it is on the opening day.
No, opening day. Mate, you need a protein yogurt for the games, says Jody. Obviously looking a bit small, mate. Get that protein yogurt down you.
Got some in the fridge, actually.
Have you, mate? Well, maybe have that for the full-time snack.
Right, if we win, full-time snack, protein yogurt. Lovely.
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
mate,
take it, mate.
Thoughts on that half? Take it. Been impressed? I think it's just kind of been. I think it's just been okay.
It's been okay. You can expect it to be quite rusty, especially the new players settling in. First game of the season away from home is always going to be tough. You just take the points at this stage of the season, and if we can start well despite playing poorly, that can only be a positive.
I mean, and we've also got. I mean, I don't want to put pressure on the season or anything like that, but it's tough, isn't it? Like, we've got a tough start first few games.
Yeah.
Obviously,
very tough.
This one today, we got first game at home to Spurs next weekend. I can't remember what the third game is. Someone in the chat might be able to help us out there. Chelsea's third game of the season. Leicester. It's not an easy start, is it? So, you'd want us to get the 3 points today, really. I think, I don't want to say it's crucial because, it's not vital, but we could certainly do with it. I mean, you're expecting Everton to throw a bit more at us in this second half, mate. Obviously, they're going to have to come out a little bit. Frank's team talk will probably completely change from being quite happy with what they've done to get to half time at 0-0 to then be a goal down. That will probably change things a little bit. I mean, do you think
if you're an Everton fan, I think you're going to be quite disappointed with that half that they didn't go for it a little bit more. I think the stoppage early on did help us. I think it did take the wind out of the players a little bit because they got going, raring to go, full of adrenaline, and all of a sudden you're sitting around for 5-10 minutes. But if I was a home fan for the opening day of the season, where you really want to, what more do you need to be up for when you've got, some of the, former European champions at your home? I think you've got to go for it a little bit more. So you'd expect that they've got to take more risks in the second half, but it works in Chelsea's favour because there'll be more space in behind, and that's what we're probably better at.
Yeah, I would agree, mate. I think when the game opens up more, that's when we're gonna come alive. There'll be more spaces for Sterling to run into. There'll be more spaces for Chile and obviously Reece James to exploit. Hopefully Mount can have a bit more time on the ball. Havertz potentially might have a bit more space to get a bit more involved. But I'd like to see us maybe try and play it on the deck a little bit more. Try and get some nice moves going, kind of on the deck, through passes, etc. I feel all we're doing is really just playing it into the box, and it's not really doing very much.
No, and the one chance we created with the penalty, I mean, was a ball over
the top.
Well, it was a really smart ball from Koulibaly to kind of reverse it into the box, and I think all the crosses have been great because we've been in good areas, but you've got to think a little bit more with your brain. I mean, we're putting it into a nice area, but we know that that's not Havertz's game. So why are we doing that?
Yeah, I would agree, mate. I mean, I don't know what we got here. Kovacic is our best midfielder for a reason. First half proves that no urgency, no drive from the midfield. Jorginho needs to pick some passes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jorginho's been terrible. Agreed, AN. We are shocking on corners in the final third, you name it. Yeah, we are piss poor in the final third. We really are. Mate, why do you think... I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be another season of misfortune and struggles in the final third, but, the evidence in pre-season and obviously this half so far, it is pointing towards that not much has really changed, particularly at the top end of the pitch.
I don't know what. I honestly can't put my finger on it because you look at, say, an obvious example of maybe City, who have someone like a Kevin De Bruyne in behind the front three who can pick a pass out of nowhere. But I don't think Arsenal particularly have that, and they don't struggle to score goals. So I find it difficult to suggest that, oh, it's because of the players behind the front three that are causing the problems. I don't know. It might come back to our original point about the physical presence. You do need that in the Premier League. It's slightly different to other leagues, and maybe those players who've come in from abroad aren't maybe up to scratch with that demand yet. I mean, if you weren't a fan of football, you wouldn't even realise that Havertz was playing. I mean, that's how uninvolved he's been in this game, which is quite shocking, really. And I honestly, I can't put my finger on why we do struggle to create so much. We've suggested a lot of reasons, but I think it's an accumulation of all of them put together. It's not just one sole thing, because we had a target man last season. That didn't work either. I think it comes to quality. I mean, you look at all the other top six. Look what they've got: Spurs, Son, Kane.
They got Son, Kane, Kulusevski, Richarlison. Mate,
I'm just speaking the obvious. I mean, Son and Kane, you can guarantee between them probably 35, 40 goals a season. Then you've got Liverpool. Did have Mane, Salah. Okay, already you've got City with Mahrez getting double digits, Grealish with assists, Haaland now obviously. Man United, Man United, you could probably argue are in a similar situation, but then they have one of the best all-scoring, goal scoring players of all time. And then you look at Chelsea and you think they're all a bit wish-washy. Would Havertz go into any of those other top six sides in the front three? No.
No, I don't think he would.
No, I don't think any of them would. I think that's the problem.
That is a problem. Yeah, I do agree, but mate, I don't know what we do about it though. That's also another problem.
No, we need to bring in I think we need to bring in a forward who is of real quality. Real quality. I'm not talking about it's my personal opinion, but I don't think Lukaku was quality anyway.
There's no point discussing that now. That's done.
I'm talking someone like I don't know why we missed out on Lewandowski. I mean, I know he wanted to go.
Only wanted to go to Barca, mate. We weren't getting him.
But that sort of ilk. I'm talking that sort. We know how good he is, and they need to be at the right age, perhaps. And it is difficult. It's not easy to find them. I don't know. I don't know who else.
Would you revisit a move for Ronaldo?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. I wouldn't totally rule it out in this window. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't rule it out.
It looks highly unlikely.
I'd say unlikely, but I wouldn't say no. I mean, I don't know if we've got one of these or not. Arsenal have got a specialist set-piece coach. They have improved so much on corners. I don't know if we've got a specialist set-piece coach or not, but I mean, we're not. I don't think we do score a few goals from set pieces. It just seems that so often we just can't beat the fucking first man. I just don't know. I just don't know what you do about that. I mean, how are we not beating the first man?
Well, I don't know. It's beyond. It's beggars belief. It's like same with free kicks. I just don't understand how you hit the wall. I honestly have no idea.
Mate, it is almost inexcusable, isn't it, to hit the wall?
I'm sorry. Okay, you can excuse it if they've completely scuffed it or fallen over or whatever, but come on, these players, professional footballers. I mean, that's like saying, "Oh, you work in an office and you don't know how to save a document." I mean, it's pretty much like. You should be. It's just chalk and cheese. You should be able to easily do these things.
You should be doing your thing, mate. AN in the chat saying we need to bring on Kovacic for the second half. George, do you think we need a bit more industry, a bit more energy in midfield? Kovacic, that guy, or do you think having now gone in at 1-up, change that probably he's probably just going to leave it the same for a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, because now it's up for Everton to break us down, and if you're going on that, then Jorginho is actually probably ideal to stay in there. If it'd gone 0-0 at half time, I would have been pushing the button for Tuchel to change it.
Tuchel's not really a guy that makes changes at half time, though.
He's not. And the thing is, just because of this whole 5 subs nonsense, there's been a lot of times where Tuchel hasn't even used the 3.
That is true. I get your point. Like the managers like Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, and that people moaning about 5 subs. I think we need it, but as you say, mate, there's been times where they didn't even use the 3.
Certainly, Thomas Tuchel, and he's a bit like Southgate, where he probably waits. In a normal game for Thomas Tuchel, he normally waits till 70 minutes to make a change, which is very late.
I think it's too
not
late.
Always. Oh, it's too late. It is,
mate.
Late,
do you think he's just on Tuchel and his substitutions, mate? I am of the opinion.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he gets it right, but I think more often than not, and this is probably one of my criticisms of him, is that he waits too long for a sub. He's reactive rather than proactive. Like, you can see something's happening, make the change, or players, like, sometimes you can come on and score instantly, but mate, if you're wanting someone to make an impact from the bench, giving them 10, 15 minutes is not enough time to do anything.
No, and you think, particularly if you think you break it down into how many touches realistically they're going to get inside those 10 minutes, is very few. And I suppose that's why they play at the highest level, because you expect those few touches to make a difference. And they're all prepared and ready for that. That's what they live and breathe. But it's just a big ask. I just think, what's wrong with changing something at half time if it's not going well? What's wrong with, let's try and, I'd almost be applauding Tuchel if he said, right, we're 1-0 up, but I'm still gonna stick with my change if it was 0-0 and say, right, we need a bit more energy. Let's kill this game and get Kovacic on. I know he's not going to do that, but would be nice to see that for a change.
Yeah, mate, I agree. I just think we just need more.
I just think they need to give him more time. Yeah, just more time. Like Conor Gallagher today. Like, he'll probably, if he comes on, he'll probably get maybe 5 minutes.
Well, I guess it depends what the score is, doesn't it?
Yeah. And
like, if it goes to like 2-0 or something like that, then yeah, fair enough. What stuff saying here? Ronaldo, Aubameyang, they might not press that well, but they are proven goal scorers, which we lack in the team. Yeah, it's true. I think it's that trade-off, George, isn't it? Do you want to abandon your principles and what you're trying to build just for a goal scorer, or would you rather have kind of less goals and struggle a bit, but stick to the principles? It's just finding that.
But I think with Chelsea, it's completely different, because with Chelsea, we've literally spent £100 million on someone that we thought was going to fit a system, and it didn't work. So now we're in a win-win situation. What's the worst that can happen now? Nothing worse than Lukaku can happen now. So why don't we just go for someone like? And I think people forget how good Ronaldo was last season, despite everyone saying
his age.
Despite everyone saying that he was a problem, that's a good problem to have. Some of the goals he scored were ridiculous. I mean, literally ridiculous. The one against, but I mean, even the one against Chelsea, the first touch was outrageous.
Yeah.
And he can score from anywhere. Headers, free kicks from 40 yards. I know he's not the same player, but he still scored 17-ish goals last season?
Yeah, 18 like Premier League goals in a really dog shit United side.
You put 18 Premier League goals into our team last year with fully fit fullbacks. I'm just saying.
No, mate. I'm not disagreeing. The guys back out for the second half now. No changes at all. Kicked off yet?
Yeah, it's kicked off now, mate.
Kicked off
25 seconds in.
Yeah, kicked off second half. No changes either way. George, more of the same second half for you, or do you think we've got to go for it? Go for it a bit more. Look for that second.
Well, I think it's got to be. Playing with your heads now. I think, yes, go for it a little bit more, but we don't have to push for a winner, obviously. So I don't think it needs to be gung-ho. We need to manage the game correctly. And that's something that Chelsea did struggle with last year.
Game management has been really poor.
I think there was a stat, I can't quite remember, but it was something about how many times we had the lead and didn't see it out. Was quite alarming, because I don't think we went behind in many games. I think it was actually seeing games out at 1-0, which was the problem. So can we eradicate that by just being a little bit more same at the back? I'd expect the same at the back. But we do need a killer goal. It feels so much nicer.
Oh, mate, we definitely need that second goal. 100%. I mean, I'll take the 1-0 now. I don't really care. But I hate coming to this ground. We really struggle. So you just take anything, any way of getting the 3 points. We just want it. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, just about getting it done. I think, yeah, as you say, this game will open up more as it drags on. Everton will have to go for it. We've obviously got a far superior quality from the bench. So, yeah.
Just going to have guzzy fizzling
See, mate, see how we get on. But, yeah, second half, hopefully a slight improvement from the first half. But it's just such a poor giveaway there as well. That's so shit. I mean, sometimes I just wonder, how can you literally, with a pass, just not even beat the first man? The pass, just passed it straight to him. I just don't understand.
It does. I mean, I know they're playing at an extremely intense, fast pace.
Not that we could do any better.
Bullshit. Oh my God, that was nearly 1-1.
Do you think Cucurella are going to get some minutes in this game? I would think so. I don't think Chile's got 90 minutes in the legs. I think it would be I think it would be mismanagement of Chile on his recovery from injury to play 90 minutes in
Alonso
this
in the
first
squad.
game. No, he's going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Do you think Cucurella should get minutes? I personally think he should. I think Chile playing 90 is. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I agree. But then it depends. I mean, I don't know the situation with Cook. I don't know if he's ready to go. I assume.
Yeah, no, he's ready to go, mate. He trained yesterday for the first time. He's only got one session under his belt, but I mean, he's a footballer. He's ready to go. If he's on the bench, he's ready to go.
Yeah. So
I would use him.
It could be Chalobah.
Mate, again, it's just literally, mate, it's a fucking ball over the... I know you've seen this chance, but it's a ball over the top, just taken out all of us. One-on-one defending here. Oh, fuck me, that wasn't far away. That's a concern, isn't it? Just how one ball over the top's taken our whole midfield and back line out, and Gray's not far away from equalising there.
Well, Mendy's got to come out and take that. I'm sorry, he's got to come running out and taking that. That is not Thiago Silva's ball to chase down for me.
He's pointing at him as well. I mean, I don't know why Mendy's not come for that.
It's obviously no communication. I think that is one thing that Mendy's not great at, is actually communicating with his... He's a great shot stopper, as we've already seen in this game. But sometimes I think he lacks the conviction and the confidence to just kind of take control of a situation. Yeah. Sterling's just making a nice run up here. Completely surrounded by three defenders.
Sterling's been our best player today so far. Would you agree?
Yeah, him and the Koulibaly have been both very good today.
They've been the standouts, obviously.
Which is always a positive when this.
I just don't think anyone else has done anything. Yeah, that's a big plus. I know it's only the first game of the season and whatnot, but having said that, mate, with new signings coming in, not many of them tend to hit the ground running straight away. I mean, I know this is like 40, nearly 50 minutes into the first game of the season, but they've had good pre-seasons, and this is evidence again that it doesn't look like they're going to struggle to fit in. Yes, they'll have poor games for Chelsea, and it might not be great the whole time, but you would think that with these two signings particularly, mate, they're almost relatively risk-free, as it were.
Yeah, for sure.
So here comes Sterling running at the Everton defence. What's that? A run from Havertz? Not used him. Sterling, nice. Yeah, just crowded out of it down there. But yeah, do you think that represents to me kind of risk-free signings? There's no guarantee that any signing is going to work out, but you look at those two and you think, yeah, solid. You don't expect anything to go wrong. No, and I think it's good to see that they've started well in a game that could potentially be tough to settle in. That's always a positive. And I think all the signings this window have been very, very positive. I think we've made really good signings. All added to quality. All players I like personally, and all players I think add quality to the squad. They're not. It's not like we some of those windows where you think they're just fill-in players and we're struggling. This is adding genuine quality to the first 11. All first team players, arguably, other than obviously Cucurella, but Cucurella could be a first team player. Oh, he's basically, I think he is a first team player. They're all players that improve the first 11, or they improve the first 15, as it were. Massive depth in the air, depth at the back was a big problem last season, and now we seemingly got that. Cucurella's in, obviously Koulibaly's come in. Looks like Fofana should be on his way as well. And you just look at it and you think, defensively, we've got a really solid unit. There's not many better. I don't think there's many defensive units that are better than ours in terms of personnel. I still think we're the best defensive unit in the league. I know people will say, well, how can you say that when you finish fourth? But I honestly do believe that. I think City are good defensively because they keep the ball so well and they outscore a lot of teams. I don't think actually defensively they're that great. Yeah. Oh, shit. This is an absolute scramble in the box. Oh, fucking hell.
Mendy's managed to gather it, but I've got to say, I'm also really impressed with Silva today. And it's not easy to have a new centre half partnership and just expect it to click straight away. You're going to have to learn each other's games, which takes time.
No, agreed.
But I honestly do think we are the best defensive unit in the league. I honestly do. It doesn't mean that we always perform to that level. No, but I think we've got the best group of defensive players. Oh yeah, completely. And if we I don't think that's bias or talking nonsense. I honestly think we could argue Liverpool maybe with Van Disney. Van Disney, mate. Van Disney got absolutely mugged by Mitrovic today. But he is. I mean, if they're on form, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent, and Matip. I mean, that's also.
Yeah, it's not better than what we. I don't think it's better than what we've got.
No, and squad wise, we're much better. Also.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh fuck me, I'm on the scramble there. Bodies all over the place, mate.
On a separate note, sorry to go off topic, but is it a boxing tonight?
What boxing?
AJ Usyk.
No.
Is that next week?
No, that's week. I think that's in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Off topic, but
I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, mate. Agreed here. Another stressful season with 1 goal difference. Yeah, I mean, why do you think we struggled? Well, we got the goal today, but it's a penalty. Open play goals are few and far between. It's it's the £1 million question. We've discussed this so many times, discussed this with so many people, as I'm sure you have. I don't really know what the answer is to getting us to score more goals. We're not going to score 3-4 goals every game, but you think when we get 1 goal, you can't really see where a second goal is coming from.
But we've got it in our locker. Like, we went to Real Madrid in the Bernabeu against the eventual European champions. Score 3.
Where is it?
I think, well, this game doesn't prove it, but we are better away from home when teams come at us. I mean, Everton are certainly improved from the first half.
Oh, nice ball over the top. Oh, it's collected by Pickford. Yeah.
I mean, Thiago Silva again here. Yeah, I'm slightly in front, but it just made an unbelievable block from a deadly cross from Everton, which again he's been outstanding. He's starting to turn into the player of the match for me again with his interceptions. I mean, he's been remarkable. It shows that age is only a number. So Koulibaly's got plenty of years. Yeah.
Oh mate, he's on a 5-year deal. Well, four with an option of a 5th. So yeah, he'll be here. He'll be here for a while.
But mate, I don't know, mate. Big question. That I honestly don't know why we don't score so many from open play. But as long as you get the goals, I suppose it doesn't really.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, it is true. Oh, Everton on the attack again. No, that's fucked it. Mendy's picked it up. Hey, what have you made of Reece James? Duff thinking he's not been great in pre-season. He's not been great this game. What have you made of him?
He's not been himself. He's not been as good as he was. I don't think he's been that good.
I think him and Chile, have kind of the full. I don't think the wing backs have struggled a bit today.
But you'd probably expect it from both. They're coming back from long-term injuries. Yes, James did come back, earlier than a lot earlier, and did play quite a lot of the tail end of last season. But you could see that it affected him slightly as well. And there was a bit of a case and a theory from the Sky Sports lot and Thomas Tuchel as well in the press conference that a lot of them are probably playing a little bit safe because of the World Cup coming up.
Do you think subconsciously as a pro, the World Cup, like replacing the Christmas period, so back end of November through December, do you think players are going to be holding back a little bit because they don't want to pick up an injury and miss it?
I mean, you'd like to think not, being professionals, but then some of those players, as much as a lot of us put club before country, a lot of those players will think, how many World Cups do I get in my career? And think, particularly English players who have got a real opportunity to make history. There is an element, I'm sure it's going through Chilwell's mind, when you get a long injury, you do start to duck out those 50-50s a little bit more. Because it's psychological, isn't it? It's all the, I don't know. I guess so, particularly when Chilwell's got a point to prove at left back to get back in.
I think he'll play left back Chilwell at the World Cup. I don't see why not, mate. Well, he should be, mate. He's better than Shaw.
Well,
and he's better than Trippier as well.
He is, in my opinion, but then, I mean, we're going slightly off topic, then you're talking about the England best.
But yeah.
England's different. I mean, especially when we got to Euros final without Chilwell.
England is different, yeah.
We got to a Euros final without playing both of them, really. So
Chilwell didn't play a single minute in the Euros.
Well, exactly. So how can you say that he starts for the next World Cup? It's hard to say unless he's again has a really good first half of the season, which again looks unlikely because he's got to figure his way back into playing first team football. Yeah. James the same. James got a point to prove. He's not. Yeah. He's not a starter.
Oh, Chile breaking forward here. Sorry, mate.
But I agree. I think they're both. I think James is a better all-rounder than Trent.
Fizzled out into nothing. I mean, I was meant to mention this a few minutes ago. Slight tactical tweak. Sterling is through the middle again now, and Havertz has come wide. Reece James obviously picked up a booking as well. I just think Havertz has been. I don't know. I just think he's been so shit.
Yeah, I think he's the first one I'm looking at now to change it.
Give Broja a go? Or do you think he'll go Pulisic?
Maybe Pulisic. Yeah, I think Pulisic can keep Sterling where he is, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. I think Iwobi's on the ball now, trying to break free.
Shock! Another corner to Chelsea.
Mate, I wonder what the record for the most corners in a game is. We can't be far away from that, surely.
I don't think we can. I really don't. For
Mate,
one
we're
team,
on about 15 now.
It's got to be close.
Yeah, I agree with what Duff in the chat said.
Havertz looks absolutely.
One of Havertz or Mount should be replaced by Gallagher, but getting outnumbered in midfield. Do you think we need to take a forward player off, mate, or a more attacking player off and bring an extra body in the midfield? Because it looks like we're getting overrun there. Second half shots, Everton 3, us none.
Possibly.
That's kind of standard there. Mate, what are your thoughts on that? No shots so far in the second half for us. 15 minutes in, pretty much.
Surprised, but then again, this is classic Chelsea, isn't it? We don't need a goal, so I mean, we
don't need a goal, goals. But mate, I think we desperately make second goal and Everton are dead.
And I think the way the game's gone and
that's a foul, isn't it, by Mikalenko? Is that a corner? That's a corner, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
The chance they've had in the second half, it would be dangerous to say that 1-0 is going to be enough.
Yeah, no, you're right. It would be.
There's been some hairy moments for sure in this game. Last-ditch defending a couple of times.
I just don't think it's been a great performance. But as we say, mate, I don't think there's any point getting
it's never going to be a great performance.
I don't think there's any point getting pissed off about the performance. As we said, first weeks of the season, mate, it's results over performances all day.
We've never really
will come.
We've had some good first game performances, but there are a few scrap ones. I mean, I remember the game against Hull where Drogba scored that kind of
got last minute winner. Yeah, like 2-1 I think at the bridge. Yeah.
There's been loads, mate.
When obviously last season we had a comfortable one at home to Palace 3-0. Chalobah getting his first goal, but yeah. I mean, to be fair, mate, I'm with you. Look, if things don't improve, say 4, 5, 6 games into the season, then we can start having a bit more of a conversation. But the first few games, mate, it's just all about getting the points on the board. Fuck the performances. It's just get those points on the board. Simple as that. Really is. I mean, approaching the hour mark now. Still no sign of any changes. We are getting run a bit in midfield. I think Everton are coming into this a bit more now. But yeah, what were you going to say, mate?
Just saying, like we said at the top of the show, mate, like, people almost count out the beginning of the season as just like, oh, well, we just try and get points to the board. If you can't, it doesn't matter because the season's not won and lost in the opening few weeks. But this could already be 2 points that Liverpool don't have. So it's only a bonus.
Yeah, particularly when like the last few titles have been won by a single point. Pretty much. Two of the last 3 by 1 point.
And with 90+ points. So
exactly.
You can't really afford to drop.
If you're getting 90+ points in a season, you can't afford to drop many points. Oh, it's promising it's Mount. No, it's shit. Yeah.
It looks like Everton are going to make a change with Dele Alli is going to come on, I think.
Oh, bloody hell. Dele Alli. Let's bring this back, mate. What is it? What was his celebration he done? Like one of these? Like that, isn't it? Hopefully we don't see that. Yeah, I can't really do it. What is it? It was like that, wasn't it? On some weird eye shit. But yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing that. But yeah, Dele Alli coming on for Everton. Who's he coming on for?
He's coming on for Dwight McNeil.
No, to be honest, I've got to be honest, mate. I can't think of a single thing that McNeil did.
No, didn't even know he was playing, mate.
No, I didn't even know. Very briefly, mate, by the way. What the fuck's happened to Dele Alli? Scored 6 goals against Chelsea. Dele Alli has.
I don't know what's happened to Dele Alli. He was talked about as the next. I mean, talk about how class Mourinho is. Mourinho spotted it, didn't he? I mean, if you watch that
lazy attitude,
thing, yeah, said like he's got the potential to do amazing things, and he already had done amazing things by that point with Poch. But yeah, maybe just he's not as driven as maybe people think he should be. I don't know. Because the ability's still got to be there.
The ability's there, but I mean, hopefully he doesn't come on and do something against us. But George, I mean, Everton are making their second change now, obviously with the injury in the first half. Do you think Tuchel should be looking at a change now? I mean, 62, 63 minutes in virtually. Is it time for a change, or do you think he'll be looking at anything? I'm still quite happy with what I've got on the pitch at the moment.
Everton are starting to knock on the door a little bit. I think they've certainly taken control of the game in the second half, I'd say.
The thing is, what I don't want.
Here it comes. It is Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic going to come on very short.
Double sub for the Blues then coming up. I mean, what I don't want to happen is, mate, it's still 1-0. I mean, going to the last 10 minutes and we're fucking bang up against it, just booting balls away for 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, you can already see the sense that it's changing. I mean, the crowd are starting to get up for it. Everton are starting to get more chance in and around the box. We're starting to be a bit more flappy.
Oh,
Chilwell's just bought some time with a cheap foul here.
Who do you think, who do you expect Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic to come on for? I'd be shocked.
Pulisic
has got to be coming on for Havertz, surely.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the other one will be. Loftus-Cheek perhaps for Kante, I'd say, maybe.
Do you think so? The thing is, though, Tuchel loves Kante. Fucking loves him.
But Jorginho would still be on the pitch, I imagine, just to hold the play up. I think Kante's a bit more of a squad player these days. I'm not sure, mate. I'm really not sure. He might take off Mount.
It's got to be Pulisic for Havertz. I mean, Havertz has been the worst.
Here it comes now. We'll find out. The Cox type. Oh, he's not going to type in the numbers just yet. He looked like he was going to.
Just waiting for it to go out of play.
No, so it's play on 63 minutes.
I mean, he's surprised that Ruben's come on ahead of Kovacic and Gallagher.
Oh, yeah, I am surprised, but I don't mind it. I think Ruben offers...
No, I don't mind it as well. I'm a massive fan of Ruben, but I wouldn't have thought he's ahead of Kovacic in the pecking order. Maybe Tuchel's just looking for something a bit more physical in there.
Tuchel's just done a last sleeping gesture to Mason Mount, telling him to wake up.
To be fair, mate, Mace was obviously a little bit sleeping there. Piss poor. Who's that geezer in the crowd there? Oh, that's Amadou Onana.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming. Reece James is coming off.
Oh, mate, Ruben's going on at right wing back. I completely forgot about that.
That's got to be Pulisic, surely, for right wing back. Can't be Loftus.
No, Loftus, mate. Loftus will be playing there. 100%, mate. Loftus-Cheek, right wing back. Yeah, mate, he's been playing there quite a lot in pre-season. He did it a few games last year as well. That'll be Loftus at right wing back. I promise you, mate. I mean, mate,
the guy's making a mistake.
Oh, he's fucked it, has he?
Yeah, Tuchel's changed it. So James is going to stay on. It is
that idiot's
Ben Chilwell coming off.
For who?
Pulisic, it looks like.
Are we going to a 4 then?
What is going on? Mason Mount's coming off. They're not making a decision. So Mason Mount's off, Pulisic's on, Chilwell's off, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's on.
So Mount stays on. Mate, how is Havertz stood on the pitch? Fuck me.
Yeah, so it's Chilwell and Mount off, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic on, which is very surprising. I couldn't have called that.
Mate, do you think Reece James is going to go to left wing back and Loftus will go to right wing back?
I think James is going to go to the left now. Is he there? Yes, he's there. James is playing left back now.
Mate, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it must have been something that's worked on because I would.
What I'm going to say is, mate, two things. One, I can't believe Kai Havertz is still on the football pitch. And two, when you've got... I know Cucurella has done one training session, but he's on the bench. I don't know if he's on the bench for emergencies or whatnot, but surely it would just make sense to leave James at right wing back, put Cucurella on for Chile, and then just put Ruben in midfield.
Well, you think, but then again, there must be... I just don't get it, because if Cucurella's in the squad for today, that
he's on the bench. He should be fit to play.
Yeah, there must be some capacity where he's ready. So why wouldn't you then use him for the last 25 minutes of the game? I find that quite strange.
Hey, I'll be changing formation. No, we're not, mate. What's happened is that Reece James has gone to left wing back, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek has gone to right wing back, and Christian Pulisic has replaced Mason Mount. I'm not really sure why. I don't know why he's left Kai Havertz on. I really don't. I mean, I haven't got an agenda against Kai Havertz at all. But, I mean, it's no surprise George Mount's coming off then after that sleeping gesture from Tuchel.
Yeah, did you see that? It was absolutely classic.
Yeah, mate, it was class, to be fair. I mean,
I don't think he's been happy with Mount. No, he's been good today.
He's not been great today, but, I mean, I'm not sure what he's been sleeping on, though.
Oh, yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's not been awful. It's just...
No. I mean, do you think he deserves to come off instead of Havertz? Do you think he's been worse than Kai?
No. And I my thing on Mount, I mean, it's not just because he's English or a Chelsea boy. I honestly think Mount is a player that Chelsea need 100%. If he's fit, he plays every game for me. I just think I think Havertz is just someone who needs to... I don't think Mount needs to prove himself, but it's just where we probably put too much pressure on Mount because we expect him to be the creative outlet for everything. And if he doesn't get to those levels where he's not scoring or assisting regularly, we're like, well, he's not played that well. But the reality is Havertz done absolutely nothing today and is still on that pitch. Probably due to the lack of options we've got in that position.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, mate, for me, these subs, I mean, obviously, Loftus-Cheek coming on, I completely forgot he was going to come on at right wing back, but, you know, that was...
I haven't watched many
we've done
it.
We've done it in pre-season, did it against Udinese.
I didn't watch that one.
No, did it on that game. And Loftus-Cheek's done it a few games last season as well. He did it against second half away at Norwich. He's done it against Real Madrid. He's done it against Southampton. He's done it in a fair few games, and he's done pretty well there. Looks like Yerry Mina is obviously injured as well here. Has he gone off? Obviously, Holgate's waving the people on. This is not good from an Everton perspective. Not that I care, but obviously to lose 2 defenders through injury, 2 of your starting defenders as well. That's not a great start for Frank.
No, this is a tough one for him. I think, again, circumstances just kind of killed his tactical approach to the game, which is never easy when you have 4 substitutions that you don't want to use. But I think it's about fair, the result so far.
Yeah, I probably agree. I mean, yes, it was a penalty, but other than that, we haven't really created much. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I just think we've done well, but I just think the vast majority of the players have just been average. Apart from the defenders, I think very much people in midfield have been average. I think the wing backs have been average. I think the front line, bar Sterling, have been distinctly average.
Yeah, but again, like you said, mate, start of the season.
But again, you definitely take it. You 100% take it. But
yeah, it looks like they're going to make a change with Mina coming off. He's struggling big time.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a plus as well. It's no big physical presence at the back now for Everton with Mina going. Yeah, I'd like to see Broja come on, but I don't know. I don't know if Tuchel's going to use all 5 subs. I mean, he's made 2, and we've got 20 minutes left.
I don't think he's going to make other than to kill the game off, perhaps in the last minute or so where you need to run down the clock. He might.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's where the 5 substitutions is actually quite bad because you are going to get a lot of that this season. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of that this season where you probably have 2-3 subs used, and then 2-3 subs might come on for literally the last minute where you're just trying to eat the time.
Yes,
probably.
But that time, I never understand that because that time always gets added back on.
I do, yeah, and then they moan that there's been 5 minutes added on when they think, "Where's that come from? Where's it come from?" The
thing is, though, mate, you're looking at it in a game. You could have 10 substitutions in one game.
And that's where I agree with Sam Matterface, who's also, we've had us on this show, and he said on TalkSport about having a kind of stop clock scenario like rugby do. I think it just works so much better.
There could be no arguments. I don't know why we don't stop the clock.
There can be no arguments then. The referee stops the clock. It then stops on the public viewing so everyone can see it. And then that's how much time's left.
Why have they actually not? Why do they not do that? Surely just
stop
the clock.
If there's a sub, stop.
Then you're definitely playing 90 minutes, and there's no arguments to be had at all about the fucking added time.
I just really don't get it because it's so subjective, isn't it? Like, where do they get the added time from? Have they got a second watch where they keep the time on for everything that's happening? They don't. There's no way they do.
No, they don't. But Ruben Vinagre is on for Everton. I think this will be his debut.
Yeah. We're doing well to kill this game off, to be honest. At the moment, I mean, it might speak too soon.
Look, we're being perfectly honest, it's not been great. But guys, also a quick pause in play. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet already, please do so if you're tuning in now and you're not subscribed. On the road to 2K subscribers. I think the 1.2K is up. We need to keep pushing on to that 2K as soon as possible. So yeah, guys, please do subscribe if you haven't done so already, and continue to smash the likes as well. Nowhere near enough likes on this video, so please do continue to press the like button, people. And yeah, as always, guys, get involved in the chat. If you've got any questions, any thoughts about anything to do with Chelsea, then yeah, just pop them in there and we can discuss them. Chelsea breaking forward here, dispossessed. I think it's been okay so far, mate. I definitely take it. I take it now. The 1-0 with just under 20 to go, but it's not been great, has it? If we're being perfectly honest here, it's not. No. You could almost say we've not really done anything.
No, but it's going to be interesting to see how Chelsea manage these last 20 minutes, because in last season particularly, this is where we started to have a bit of a shit show.
Fall off the old wagon, yeah.
Yeah, and complacency and not making the right decisions at the right times. And this is the essential part of the game where we need to either decide to see it off or grab a killer goal. So I assume now, with less than 19 minutes to go on my clock, that we're going to we're not going to probably go for a second goal unless it's absolute clear cut. So, you can see the pressing kind of stopped.
To me, mate, I just feel it's dangerous not to try and get this second goal. I'm not saying we're not trying to get it, but is a problem if we don't get a second goal. I really do think it is.
It is. I mean, Dele Alli had a good opportunity there, got fed in.
Oh, Lord, luckily he's shit, so it's all good.
And again, good tackle by Aspi there.
Mate, I'm just having a little scroll through Twitter and that, and a lot of Chelsea fans and stuff saying that we just don't create any, in this system, we just don't create anywhere near enough chances. I don't know if it's down to the system, but do you think if we switch to a back four that we would create more chances?
Well, yeah, we would, but we'd also look how solid. I mean, we're winning 1-0 away from home against Everton, so you could argue that Chelsea play this way we play perfectly. You could argue that our system to kind of not concede, be solid at the back, has worked.
Oh no, I agree on that. But do you not think that? Do you feel that do you think it's because we haven't got the players to create chances, or do you think it's because of this system that we're playing that we don't create enough chances?
Oh, it's definitely. It's a bit of both? A bit of both, but I think the system doesn't help. Got very defensively minded players. I mean,
the problem is though, back four, great. You get an extra attacking player on the pitch, an extra man in midfield, but you lose one defender, which is not a complete disaster. But I suppose when you're playing Chile and James at fullback, that's completely different to playing wing back. Will they still be as good attacking wise in a flat four?
Oh, big news here, mate. Havertz off, Broja on.
Lovely.
And Cucurella is about to make his debut for Chelsea.
Oh, fantastic news. So Havertz is definitely off, Broja on. Mate, are you looking for... This is a big opportunity for Broja.
Looking forward to both of these, actually.
Mate, Havertz has been terrible this game. It's a big opportunity for Broja, this one, in that 15 minutes. And who's coming on?
I expect.
Cucurella must be coming on for James, surely.
Koulibaly's coming off.
Oh, Koulibaly's down with cramp, isn't he?
Yeah. So that's two substitutions I'm liking. I like to see Broja in there, and Koulibaly struggled with the pace.
Cucurella on for his debut as well, mate.
Mate, love it.
Love that. So what's that? That's 4 subs made now. I would like to see Conor Gallagher. I'm surprised we haven't seen Kovacic either.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. I thought Kovacic would be one of the first out, but I'm really interested.
Maybe there's an issue. Maybe he's not fit or something like that. Not as fit as we think he is, or maybe he's just not required. But this is a massive opportunity.
Definitely lost some height and strength. Lost some height and strength at the back though, which is a concern, particularly going into these last minutes where they're going to pump it into the box. Be interesting to see how.
I mean, we'll get into it when the game's done with the brief player ratings, mate. But
nice, bro.
Brief word on Havertz, mate. Terrible today.
Yeah, he's probably been the worst, I'd say. Offered nothing.
I just don't understand what he's done today. I'm so pleased to see Cucurella with his debut, mate. Mad that in it. One training session on for your debut, 15 minutes at the end.
Yeah, I'm interested to see both of these players. And they've got time to make an impact. So.
I mean, I don't think we'll see much in this game, but yeah, it's big. It's basically 2 debuts, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
2 debuts.
It's huge for Broja, and I'm glad that Broja's still involved in the setup.
I don't think we're in a position to let him go just because of what we've got.
And he's definitely got something to offer Chelsea. I mean, he knows he's not going to be first choice striker, but he's got potential to make that position if he does well. I mean, it's that bad at the moment up front for Chelsea.
That's the thing, mate. That's the problem. Like, this is it, mate. Like, this is a massive opportunity for Broja because Havertz is doing absolutely nothing. We haven't really got anyone else to play through the middle. If Broja does well in the first few games, mate, he could easily displace Havertz and be the number 1.
Yeah,
there's no reason why he can't do that.
No, there's no reason at all. He's got, like you said, it doesn't make sense for him to leave because he's got a perfect situation at a top club to make a huge impact where no one else is performing. It's
a bit of a unique situation, really, isn't it?
If you're Broja, it's a bit of a gift handed to you, saying, look, if you can just perform as a striker, that position is yours essentially for this season because it's unlikely that we're going to find another forward in the window. I don't know.
I'll be interested to see how he does.
He's looking good. He's already charging down a few. He's trying to press, which
he looks sharp. He's got energy. It will help. He's playing against a tiring defence and he's fresh. That obviously makes a difference. I've
just never understood strikers who just come on and then just start walking around. I just don't get it at all. That's why I hate it, mate.
You've got like energy. I mean, Cucurella, not so good there from him. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough ask for Cucurella as well.
Yeah, I do fear that we've lost that physical presence at the back for the last when it's actually really important to have that. But a good run from Pulisic here down the left.
That's cleared as well.
Here's Cucurella now. Oh,
I mean, yeah, RD saying Broja's done more than Havertz already. Probably agree on that. I don't want this. I don't want people to think this is a anti-Kai Havertz channel, but it isn't. It's just the fact of the matter is that we are like Havertz. Was seeing it. I'm seeing it how I think I'm seeing it, and Havertz has been so shit for ages now. He really has.
I think in the past, we've been critical of players that perhaps haven't been given a lot of game time, but you can't argue that any of those players that haven't performed in the front line haven't been given enough chances. I mean, they've played so many games.
Oh, they've been given so many chances, yeah. I mean, I'm a bit worried this is going to start to open up a little bit in these last 10, 12 minutes.
Well, Chelsea doing well at the moment. Back
That's
12
nice.
to go, and they're just keeping the ball nicely here, just trying to kill the game a little bit. And that's all we need to do. We just need to play a bit more, with our heads rather than with.
Mate, we just need to get back on that bus or whatever plane or however we've got there, and just get out of here. This is a tricky game. It really is a tricky game.
I'd be delighted with 3 points of clean sheet here.
Oh, mate, it couldn't be a more perfect start. 3 points and the clean sheet. It would be phenomenal. It really would be. But yeah, again, the performance, as we've said, has not been great. I'm a bit disappointed that might not see Conor Gallagher today.
Yeah, but it's a hard game to ask for someone to, he was never going to be in the starting 11. And unfortunately, he's probably going to be more of one of those players that, again, just gets those cup matches, possibly a player that comes on when we're cruising in a game. Yeah. Not someone that I think Thomas Tuchel particularly trusts in a game that, we need to hold a lead, perhaps. So he's got a lot to learn. He's had one good season at Palace. I know a lot of people bigging him up, but
yeah, he's a young guy, but I think he's still 20 years of age.
Yeah, and as a nation, we're so like, we always do it with like players have one good season because they're English. We're like, oh, this guy's an absolute wonder kid. Like,
yeah,
we haven't seen him at the top level. He's got loads of years to go, and Chelsea as a midfield, you still got to say he's not in that starting 11 topic, is he really?
No, he's not. But mate, the midfield again is another concerning area. I don't think we've been great in midfield today. I think Kante's been off it. I think his touch has been poor. And Jorginho, he's not been awful, but he just slows everything down. Yeah,
he does. But it's how Chelsea want to play, though. Chelsea are not an expansive team. So again, is this? I mean, we did it. I know people argue that we played a lot of good football under Mourinho, and we did, but we also played a lot of football where we got the 1-0 and went home. And that's...
Oh yeah, but that's because But I think, mate, one thing's very clear that if we can't start creating chances and scoring from open play on a regular basis, it's going to be hard work this season.
Well, you get unstuck, don't you? You can't get penalties every game.
You can't rely on a penalty every week to win a game of football.
No.
That for me, mate, is the big takeaway from this game so far, is the fact that we just don't look like scoring.
No. Could do here, though. We've got a free kick on the end of the box. James and Cucurella both over it. Oh, God, how would you love Alonso on this one now?
Yeah, well, mate, it would be ideal, wouldn't it? But, he's obviously moving on to pastures new. But that is obviously that free kick, which you're probably a little bit ahead of me. There's a booking for Mikalenko there for that foul on Loftus Cheek.
I don't know what Cucurella's like from a set piece.
No, I've got to be honest, mate. Didn't really. I mean, again, George, is Sterling picking it up and driving at a defence, playing a great ball into Ruben.
Yeah.
Sterling, for me, has been our best player today. Alongside the players at the back, they've done well, but Sterling's been standout performer again.
Yeah, he's been the only one that's been creative, and that's exactly why I bought him in. So he is the difference. That's exactly why I paid the money for him. Here we go. James.
Here we go. Free kick. Skied it. Fuck's sake.
At least didn't.
But but it's an interesting conversation, though, isn't it? Like, well, I do worry. We've watched Chelsea for years now, and particularly under Thomas Tuchel though as well. That apart from against the shit teams, there's not many goals at all. We're lucky if we score more than 2 in a game. Very rarely do we score more than 2.
Yeah, and that's where it's a real problem, isn't it? Because you're always going to have games where you do struggle to score.
That's why, mate. I think that's why we struggle so much. Where if we concede first, we're fucked.
And it's the first time in my supporting Chelsea where I've gone to games or watched them on telly. I thought, are we going to score today? I'm not sure. Which I've never thought before. I've always thought, Chelsea are we going to win is a different question. But sometimes I'll get ready for a Chelsea game. I'm not quite sure if we're going to score, where the goal's coming from. I'm really not.
Yeah, well, mate, I'm watching today. All right, we get the penalty, but you're looking at it. Other than that, mate, what chances have we really had in this game? What, one shot from Mason Mount?
Just had one
and,
here.
What, a Koulibaly header? But we haven't created very much at all. You haven't created a chance where you think, "Ooh, that should have been a goal."
No, and that's been the problem. And there was a great chance here that you'll see in a minute that I'm sure you'll pick up. That was a good opportunity. Again, another very good block. Everton have defended well today. I mean, they haven't done much wrong either in the first game of the season. They just conceded a penalty in a sloppy kind of last minute where they should have just been a bit more sensible. But again, like if we didn't have the penalty, this game's 0-0.
Yeah, it is. This is the point, mate. Like, obviously, like we've got the penalty, and it's kind of ifs and buts in football, of course. But and it's hypothetical because, like, obviously we did get the penalty and we scored it, but you just don't look like doing anything in like creating any chances. I mean, Cucurella forward, ball in. Oh, it's blocked there. That shot. That was a good opportunity there. It's good from Cucurella as well.
Defending. Yeah, great cutback from Cucurella there. Nice to see him getting forward.
Mate, Sterling's our best player. It's mad. We've got all these attackers, right? We bring Sterling in, and already with just pre-season and this 83, 84 minutes now, he's so far better than everyone else.
Yeah, well, he is. I mean, he was playing in the best side in arguably the world at that time, and I think it was a no-brainer when he came in. Well recovered.
Mate, this is where when you're playing against a team like Everton, small pitch and stuff, last sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes, like you're going to be up against it. Oh, man, that's such a shit corner. Like, it just goes straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Like, honestly, how many corners today? By the way, I don't know, mate. But how many of them have been decent? Probably virtually none of them.
Yeah. Is it? There's another delay here. I think there's been something going on in the crowd, or
is there a medical problem in the crowd?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah. So there's going to be another stoppage here.
Yeah, another stoppage. What's stuff say? Again, the mystery remains unsolved. What is Kai Havertz's best position? He's been awful. Broja easily benching him this season. Yeah, mate. I don't know what the answer is. Honestly, mate. I don't think he obviously won't. I mean, there's a chance. I don't think he will. Havertz shouldn't play against Spurs for me. Shouldn't start.
No, but then it's
like what? Mate, the policeman on the old pitch running over.
He's done more than Havertz.
Yeah, mate. He's covered more ground than Kai with that. Yeah, there must be some sort of medical emergency in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is. But the issue we have, which we all know, is we haven't got any other options. So what do you do? I mean, Timo Werner's clearly not in the conversation.
What you do is you go and sign someone. But who that someone is, I don't know.
Bad. I think we should give Pulisic a bit of a go.
Yeah, he's not going to score enough goals, though, is he?
No, but I like the fact he's a bit more electric. He offers something different.
No, I like him, but I'm just saying, like, it's not the answer to the problems.
No, but it's the answer to Spurs, perhaps.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, yeah, I honestly think Broja's got a
Broja for Spurs starting 11.
Well, mate, rather than Havertz.
Yeah, but again, it's.
I just think Kai's been so poor, but yeah, I mean, another stoppage, mate. Do you think we'll see this out?
I think so. I think the stoppages have really helped us in our favour to kill the game. Because again, last few minutes, the crowd should be getting them, bigging up the home team to kind of get them.
Mate, it looks like we're going to have another chunk of added time as well at the end of this half.
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
subs, few injuries. This stoppage now as well.
Yeah,
mate, I've got to be honest. This has been a poor game. If we're being totally honest with ourselves, yeah, it's great we're potentially going to win this, or looking like we are going to win it. It's not been a great spectacle, has it?
No, it's been.
I mean, not every game is going to be a great spectacle, but this one. But this has been a terrible game of football.
But that's the problem. I think that's what we expect from Chelsea now. We're not exactly kind of lights out football, are we? It's very. It's not great on the eye. I think there's very few games I can remember actually being at that where I was like, wow, that was an incredible performance. I mean, I have to go all the way back to perhaps Juventus in the Champions League where we blitzed a team apart.
Yeah, mate. There's not that many. I agree with you, mate. There's very few in recent months or seasons and whatnot where you've gone you've watched a Chelsea game and you thought, fuck, we were phenomenal today. There's not
Real
many
Madrid
of
was
them.
probably the last one, but even then we fucked it. Really.
We still managed to fuck it. I mean, yeah, it's about 5 minutes left. Well, with added time, it's probably there could still be 10 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, probably.
What's it on now? 87, 88?
Yeah, and Chelsea Broja's got the ball on the halfway line. Cucurella down the left. Another Chelsea corner. So
mate, we just got to see this out. We have to see this out now.
Probably end up going short here.
Oh, mate, I'll be so pissed if we concede.
No, it's unthinkable at the moment.
It is unthinkable. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, look, I don't think there's any point us getting pissed off about the performance. It's been poor, but at the end of the day, mate, it's 3 points, and that's what you want. It's a tough place to go. It's one tough away game out of the way.
Yeah.
Already.
We've
really
tough away game.
I think we're fortuitous to win this. If we do win it, I'm not sure. I think on the balance we probably deserve it. I
think a lot of people were thinking of a Chelsea slip up here, but
later in the season, perhaps I would have gone for it. But start of the season, it's a lot. I don't say it's easier, but it probably is easier to go at the start of the season.
I'd say
first few, the first games and that, no one's really playing for anything.
No, so you can't, everyone's going by no form whatsoever. It's all a bit in the air. People didn't get up to scratch. No, maybe teams don't perhaps know their best team. New signings settling in. Oh God. Everton just peppering it around the box. No, I don't like it.
Mate, it's that pinball in the box. We do not want that pinball in the fucking box.
Well, I think we're just sat back now trying to just take it at the moment.
Man, I know this is not going to be a particularly popular question, but do you think we've missed Marcus Alonso's attacking outlet today?
I like Marcus. I think it's shit. I get now with Cucurella, and I think we can agree that
it's time to move him on. But mate, as an attacking outlet, we might. I don't know. I think potentially could have missed him.
Well, the joke is always play him as a number 9.
Mate, I would have loved to have kept him, just play him as centre forward. Guy's got finishing on him.
Mate, he's outstanding finisher for me.
No, he is a good finisher. But yeah, I mean, look, the game's not quite done yet, but yeah, it's not. There's not been many standout performers. You'd say Koulibaly and Silva have been fantastic. Mendy's done pretty well as well. And
mate, 10 minutes on the clock.
Fuck me, another 10 minutes added on.
10 minutes added on.
Mate, this game's not been had 20 minutes of stoppages, has it? 18 minutes of added time. 8 minutes and 10 minutes. Fuck, mate, this game's nowhere near done.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'll get the fitness in for sure.
Yeah, it would be so much easier just to stop the clock, as we discussed. But yeah, it is what it is. Mate, midfield, I think, is another area where I think we've struggled a bit today. It's just been too easy for Everton to get through.
Yeah, against more quality opposition, I think we're struggling in this game. Too many times we've just been turned and it's been loose. We need to be a lot crisper.
Yeah, I just think we could benefit from an extra body in midfield.
Definitely, but I
don't know what the answer is.
It's annoying.
Mate, that 10 minutes comes up. That's so shit.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Really. It's that much. It's not that much. I don't know where they've got that from.
No, I don't know where they had as well. I mean, look, mate, people on Twitter saying the policemen on the pitch had more involvement than our attack. I mean, I don't think I can disagree with that, mate. Mount and Havertz with shockers today. Sterling has been much better. I mean, George, I guess a positive from today, other than the potential 3 points, has been that the new signings have all looked really good.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive because you already expect them to...
Koulibaly, Sterling and Cucurella has looked decent as well with his appearance off the bench. That's a massive plus, but I guess it's same old problems. Attack is just terrible.
Yeah, I hope Bodie's watching this somewhere.
I mean, is it possible that we can go and spend another 200 or 300 million? I mean, is FFP going to allow that? You look at it and you think, mate, you look at this team, right? And it's good and the squad's good, but you look at it and I'm thinking... we could still go and spend another 200 million. Like, you still think it needs quite a lot doing to it.
Yeah, it is one of those where a lot of the big signings that we've made in previous seasons haven't worked, and we're in a transitional phase.
I think that's what set us back, isn't it? Is the fact that, you know, a lot of previous signings that we spent big money on haven't worked out, so we're almost having to start again.
Yeah, which ideally we didn't want to do, because all those signings were made on the premise that they were going to be here for 5-6 years and do well. Timo Werner, Havertz being two of them.
Well, mate, Werner and Havertz is £150 million spent, pretty much.
Yeah, and neither of them worked.
And you look at that, and you've not really got anything back from either of them. I mean, people are going down now, mate. Thiago Silva down with cramp. It's just a bit of fitness issues, isn't it? It looks like he's done his hamstring there, maybe. Holding the back of his leg. Is that a concern?
Well, he is back up now. Yeah, he's back up. I think it was a bit of a tactical kill the time.
Tactical one, kill a bit of time, using all that experience. Although, in theory, that time should still be added on. So, like, in theory, it shouldn't really make any difference. I would potentially agree with this. Broja and Sterling up front with Mount, Cover and Jorginho in midfield. I mean, Thiago Silva's stats today have been phenomenal, ranking first in passes, successful passes, equal first in interceptions, and most accurate long balls. I mean, he's been phenomenal today.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Really impressed.
Defensively, we've been good, mate. It's the same problems as we say, you know, just offensively. I just think, other than Sterling, there's been nothing. I think the wing-back's been poor today. I mean, I'm not expecting much from Chile, obviously, coming back from a long-term injury. I don't think James has done much at all today.
Like, this is the thing, like when you're playing a team that effectively survived relegation by the skin of their teeth, and they've actually created more chances than you have.
Yeah, mate, we've created this is the big problem. I don't want to sound negative, but this is it, mate. We're probably going to win this game. We'll probably see it out. No chances at all.
No. And you can already see the difference in how Chelsea play with what Raheem Sterling had. Every time Sterling gets the ball, he's got nothing in front of him. So you're just expecting him to run past defenders. Whereas at City, he probably had 5 or 6 options either side.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, he's getting past players and there's no fucking options.
No, he literally had no one. He just made a run a minute ago, and he was almost like he didn't know what to do with the ball because Broja's nowhere to be seen, and then no one's even. I know it's late in the game, so you wouldn't expect players to get forward, but even early in the game, it's just like it's like the Hazard days. As soon as Hazard got the ball, we all just sat back and just hoped that he could create something out of nothing because no one else could be bothered to do anything with the ball.
Yeah, it's a problem, mate. For me, it's a problem. Like, I just don't know where the chances come from.
No. I don't know what the answer is
because this system is so heavily reliant on wing backs. You're thinking, like, what do you do? Like, if those guys aren't contributing, like, in attacking phases of play, and mate, could you imagine if Sterling had an off day today?
He will have off days in the league.
This is the big problem. Sterling's going to have an off day. What happens then? Because no one else seems capable of stepping up and doing anything.
No, back to the same old shit, I guess.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, I don't understand how we can have all these players spend all this money, but yet we still cannot seem to solve this attacking issue.
Well, that's why it's up to Thomas Tuchel as a manager to get the best out of the players that we've got.
And we spent the big money on a centre forward. We've tried we've tried so many different things, and yet Lukaku, Havertz, and Werner is like over £200 million a player. Pulisic was £63 million. Like, this is big money, and yet none of them have done anything really.
No, but that is a job that he needs to work on this season.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think I've quite liked Broja's cameo here. I think he's thrown himself about. He's worked hard. I think he's done more than Havertz.
He has. I think he's done. Oh, Broja getting a shot on target there. Pickford easy save in the end.
Yeah, mate. Look, as we say, it's not been great, but we haven't won here for fucking ages. What, 5-6 years we haven't won here for? So,
well, don't say it too soon.
Yeah, I hope I've not cursed that.
Because we still got on my clock, we still got about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've got 4 minutes left. Conor Gallagher saying he's got eight. Gallagher got 8 goals and 3 assists on loan at Palace last season.
Oh,
Oh,
That was a foul.
no.
Thank you. Pickford
Mate,
again. Jesus Christ. Southgate can't be watching this with any confidence. He's just come out to try and
mate,
basically take on Pulisic.
I think I don't rate Pickford at all.
He's come to try and he's basically doing an outfield game of trying to you'll see it in a minute, trying to outdo Pulisic. Pulisic's done him, pretty much got an open goal, and then the defender just purposely takes him to the ground so he can't basically tap it in, which is what is he doing?
I don't know, mate. What's this here? Teams in the Premier League have figured out playing against the three at the back works well for us in the Champions League. But, mate, George, would you agree with that? Do you think we're too predictable now?
Oh, we're one of the most predictable sides in the league, for sure.
We are. I mean, we saw when Leicester won the league playing that 4-4-2 counter-attacking system. No one knew how to play against it because you don't really see it. As soon as they played it again the season after, they were nowhere near as good.
No.
Do you think we are too predictable now? We need to have more strings to our bow.
I think that's why. Well, I think that's what we tried to do in pre-season by playing the four at the back, but it went terribly wrong, didn't it? Got to have some sort of other system that we play. But I think the new players coming in, like Gallagher, Sterling, do add those strings. We have got them. It's just finding the right balance.
No, but I mean, in terms of like different system, do you think the three at the back's just been found out?
Well, I wouldn't say it's been found out because I think we do, like today, we are winning 1-0. So we are, the system has worked to what we play. It just does mean that we sacrifice an awful lot going forward. And unfortunately, those players that, like a Sterling, would get so many opportunities.
Oh, mate, Jorginho is coming off. I don't know who's coming on. It must be Cover. Oh, no, Gallagher is on.
Yeah, getting a lush minute. That must be so shit, going all the way up to Goodison for a minute.
Mate, a minute or two.
Imagine going.
Mate, you'd be so pissed off, wouldn't you? Like, you've gone all the way. It's like I'm gonna play 2 minutes.
I couldn't imagine kind of going to like your local five-side game, whatever, and just playing 1 minute. It'd be like, what is going on?
Mate, it's a fucking joke, isn't it? Like, I'm going for the cool down tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, boys, big cool down for me. Played 2 minutes yesterday.
It's like so shit, isn't it? It's just like, how do you motivate yourself to play 2 minutes of football?
Yeah,
it's true. A touch.
Yeah, mate, he won't get anything. But yeah, mate, who's like out of the subs? I think, like I say, I've been most impressed with Cucurella. I think he's looked really good.
Yeah, he has looked good. Yeah, all right.
And he's come on, played left wing back, and he's looked superb.
Again, he's
not playing left wing back. He's playing left centre back, isn't he?
This is what we said right at the start, though. Before we even bought anyone, we said, can we just buy players with Premier League ready to go Premier League experience? I mean, I know he's only had a year, but
but Thiago's still a man of the match.
I think that's fair. I think he's been outstanding.
Some of the exceptional today. Yeah, really good.
Again,
really good.
Oldest senior pro being the man of the match.
He's 38. Well, it'll be 38 this season. I think if he's not 38 now, he's 38 pretty soon.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Mate, it is a madness, isn't it? It really is mad. No, it's quite something how good he is.
That should be that.
I remember you saying that you didn't think it was going to be a good signing when we got him on a free a few years ago.
I'll hold my hand up there and say I was wrong with that one.
Yeah,
lovely, full time,
lovely stuff, and that is full time at Goodison Park. Finishes with Everton 0, Chelsea 1. Jorginho with a goal from the penalty spot in the ridiculous amount of added time at the end of the first half after a lengthy hold up. George, not a great game to be honest, mate. We struggled in large parts, didn't create an awful lot, but just how important do you think that 3 points is? Not only to get off to a winning start with a tough place, but to kind of get that Goodison hoodoo off us. And yeah, with a tough start to come Spurs up next weekend as well. I mean, 3 points today was almost vital, wasn't it?
It was big. I mean, you can't ask for a better start than that. Clean sheet, away from home, 3 points, and especially as a team that we want to close the gap on, already getting 2 points above them. Obviously, it's very early days. So we're going to drop points at some point in the season, but yeah, we'll take that. I mean, there's lots to improve, but
I mean, I've got to be honest, mate. It was a pretty boring game, and we did look like we laboured to that. We made that. It was hard work, wasn't it? It wasn't pretty on the eye.
No, but it's. We're in the exact same position. We don't really know much more about ourselves other than the fact that we know we're shit going forward, which hasn't changed despite the result.
We knew that anyway. Yeah, we don't create any chances. Yeah.
But we're good enough as a team because we've got talented players to get results like that without creating a lot of chances. But it will if you want to go the next step and win,
it then is difficult.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It is difficult. I don't really know what the answer is. We don't know what the answer is going forward. But at the end of the day, mate, it's a winning start to the season. It's exactly what we wanted. And hopefully, things will improve and get better against Spurs. I mean, positives, the new signings looked really good. Koulibaly was great. Sterling was good as well. Obviously, Cucurella, when he came on, was very decent. And yeah, defensively we were good. But again, I thought midfield, we weren't great. And at the top end of the pitch, other than Sterling, I thought Havertz and Mount were quite poor today. It was all very predictable, all very samey. It really wasn't that great at all, if we're being perfectly honest on that one. But win's a win. Get 3 points on the board. We're 2 points ahead of Liverpool already. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to compete for the title or anything, but that those points are crucial come the end of the season potentially. If Liverpool were to miss out on something by say 2 points, or we beat them by 2 points, or whatever it happens to be, you look back at games like this, and this is a big 3 points. Don't make no mistake about it. Yes, we were boring. Yes, it was not a great performance. We didn't create anything at all. But the win, at the end of the day, the win's the win, mate. Have you got time for a quick player ratings? If you need to shoot off, mate, I'm happy to do it on my own. But if you want to hang about, then good stuff.
No, let's do it. No,
let's do it, bro. Right, let me get this stuff comment here. Cucurella looks class. 60 mil for a player who can play left wing back, left centre back effectively is worth it. Yeah, of course it is. People go on about big money, and it is big money. But George, just on this Cucurella, obviously the 55 million plus the 7 million add-ons, it's going to take it over 60 million pounds. But how important was it that Brighton really wanted Levi Colwill permanently, but we've managed to negotiate him just going for a season's loan? That's a massive plus as well in this deal.
Huge plus.
And probably worth paying the extra money for. That's probably why we paid a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. Again, to get that sort of deal, I think it's great for all parties involved. So I'm really happy with the deal actually at the end of it. I know people said that didn't really make sense, but for me, I think it's a great bit of business from Chelsea.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Let's get into this player ratings then. First one of the season. Feels like it's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a while, but the lineup's back on the screen. I've done my best to kind of pick the colours, what looks like the away kit. I think I've done all right with that one. But yeah, guys, obviously in the chat as well, let us know your thoughts on the player ratings. If you agree or disagree with us in any of them, then please do let us know. But George, let's kick it off. Edouard Mendy, a bit shaky in pre-season, but he's done pretty well today, I'd say. Great save from that header in the first half. He's looked sharp. There's a few goal mouth scrambles that he did well in. A pretty solid day for him, wasn't it? I thought he was good today.
I thought he was good. I thought, particularly made that great save that was tipped over the bar.
Yeah.
Still elements of his game that perhaps I was a bit scared of in not coming for the ball over the top, but all in all, he commanded his box very well. And as a goalkeeper, you can't ask for more than an away clean sheet, can you? Really? So I thought it was at least a 7. I thought it was good.
Yeah, mate, I think I'd agree with that. I'd go with a 7 for Mendy as well. I don't think he actually did anything wrong. I can't remember anything in the game where he kind of was looking flappy or shaky or anything like that. Not off the top of my head. Yeah, I'd agree. I think a 7 is a fair rating for him. Let's move into the back three then. Clean sheet. So obviously that's a massive plus. I don't think we can be too harsh. Azpilicueta, mate. What did you make of him? Obviously, if he's going to play, then I want to see him play in the right centre back position. I think his time of playing right wing back is definitely gone. His legs are done. He did get spun on one occasion where Everton got him behind. But what did you make of Aspie, George? I thought he did okay today. Not probably probably the worst out of the 3 centre backs. I know that sounds quite harsh using the term worst, but he probably was not the best. He probably was the worst out of those 3. What did you make of him today? I thought he was all right.
I thought he was good. I thought he looked comfortable in that position. I agree. I think if you're going to play him, he needs to play there. Can't play wing back anymore. But he did make some important interceptions. Certainly in the first half, I thought he made a really good one. So again, I think you can't mark them down too badly when you've kept a clean sheet away from home. So I think that's 6, perhaps 6.
Yeah, I think I'd agree, mate. I don't think he was terrible, but he certainly wasn't the best out of those back 3. I think a 6 is fair for Aspie. And to be honest, mate, are you surprised that he got the nod ahead of Chalobah, considering how good Chalobah was last season?
Yeah, I was surprised that he was going to start the game. And I didn't expect him to finish it just because of, he's aging. We know his frailties now, as he's not the player he once was. But that, there's something that you just can't buy, and that's experience. And in those sorts of games, Asby is going to always get the nod over someone like a Chalobah, unfortunately, until Chalobah steps up and proves that he can cope with that sort of pressure.
Yeah, no, I would agree, mate. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Asby started next week at Spurs as well. I really wouldn't, just for that experience factor. We'll get to Thiago Silva last. Let's move on to another debutant then. Rahman guy in the chat, big up, bro, saying that his man of the match was Koulibaly. He saved us so many times and had a few good team build-ups. I'd agree on that. George, Koulibaly obviously didn't last the distance today, played about 74, 75 minutes. In an impressive pre-season. Did you like what you saw today? I thought it was great today, really good. Obviously, the pace of the Premier League compared to Serie A maybe catching him out a little bit there. But all in all, thoughts on him? I thought it was really positive today. A great defender.
Yeah, loved it. Solid. Again, never easy when you're playing away from home in your first game against a difficult side. Again, not easy with a new partnership. I know they would have been working on pre-season, but he was outstanding today. Winning balls in the air. He offers that pace, and it's a nice combination in terms of a partnership with Thiago Silva reading the game so well, and Koulibaly kind of picking up in behind any loose balls that he can run after. Looks solid. Got the assist as well, albeit for just a pass.
He did get the assist. Well, I suppose the assist don't really count, does it? Chile gets the assist, but he plays the ball that wins the penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great signing. I mean, he's better than Rudiger. For me, it is an upgrade on Rudiger. I know I said I wasn't sure at the start. I think it's a definite upgrade on Rudiger. Just a phenomenal defender. I mean, yes, he'll have games where he doesn't play so well, like everyone will. But today was a phenomenal start. I mean, do you think an 8 out of 10 is fair?
Yeah, I think it could be high. I think you could argue 8. I would say 8.5. I thought it was, but I'm happy with that.
Let's go 8.5. Mate, Thiago Silva. I mean, we every time we got to him last season, we just said, like, what more can we say about this guy? But 37 coming on 38. Another phenomenal performance today. Great blocks. Just makes the game look so easy. I mean, the guy just oozes class. Another great performance today.
He's a joke, isn't he? He's just a joke. I can't think of more positives to say about him. I've run out of superlatives. He's just a fantastic leader. Plays by example. Makes everything look so easy, so cool. Never seems to make a mistake. Just the perfect player. And we're blessed to have him. And it's just a shame that he's of an age where we probably won't see him for many more years. But
well, mate, this will probably be his last year, I think.
I dread to think what it would be like without him, but incredible.
Fucked. Yeah, I think a 9.
I think
a 9.
9 or I don't think a 9.
I'll go with a 9. First game of the season. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Really, really good. Yeah, guys in the chat as well. Get involved as always. Please do subscribe to the channel as well, people. If you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And please do keep smashing that like button as well. Let's move on to the fullbacks then. I thought, to be honest, mate, all of them struggled. Both of them struggled today. We'll get to Chile shortly, but George, Reece James, a bit of an indifferent pre-season campaign. I thought he struggled at times today. He wasn't really that involved in the game. His corners were terrible as well that he took. Not that good from James today. Not one of his better showings at all.
No, I think he struggled in that game. Certainly not the best of Reece James, but again, areas to improve, and it's good that we're thinking about areas to improve when we've kept a clean sheet at the back. So that can only be a positive. But yeah, we need to see James being a bit more expansive going forward. But we'll get that a little bit more as the season goes on. I think it was a difficult one to call and judge today.
Yeah,
I don't know what to give him as a rating.
I think he was average, mate.
5, 6.
I think 5 being. I just thought I don't think he was any better than average. I've got to be honest.
That's fair.
A big positive was seeing obviously Ben Chilwell back in the starting lineup after that horrific injury. Looked a little bit rusty in pre-season. Probably still was a little bit rusty today as well. Got a decent amount of minutes. I think he played about 60 odd minutes. That would be positive minutes in the tank for him. What did you make of him, mate? Because he obviously he won the penalty, getting forward well there. But again, a reasonably quiet game for him as well. But these are really important minutes in the tank.
Well, look, firstly, it's great to have him back. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to start, but great to see him back in the fold. And, he was rusty, but he also didn't look like he made any major errors. He seemed quite comfortable. Looked himself, didn't look too kind of shy on the ball or nervous at all, which is always a positive. Got the all-important, tackle to win the penalty. So he was in the right area, advancing forwards, which is always good to see. So I think for a player coming back from a very long-term injury, it's a huge positive performance to get, again, clean sheet and plenty of minutes under the belt. So again, I thought he was better than James, not much better. I think
6 or 5.5.
I think 5.5. I think we expect more from Chilwell.
I think they were average. I mean, mate, whilst I know we'll talk about the subs later. Moving into midfield then. Let's start with N'Golo Kante. I've got to be honest, mate. He wasn't terrible today, but I just think his touch is a bit off. The touch is not great. And too many times the midfield just got run through. I mean, I don't think Kante contributed. I mean, he's not expected to contribute much attacking-wise, but he is the more attacking of those two in the middle of the park there. I just don't think he contributed very much in this game at all. I mean, what were your thoughts on him?
Well, we say that a lot about Kante, don't we? But then you also got to take into consideration the amount of recovery runs that he does and those little nicks that he gets that are just so unique that not a lot of other people get, where he just breaks up the play so well, or times an interception in perfection. And he definitely offered that again today with some of his recovery runs in our box. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't with Kante. As soon as he's not in the team, you realise how much he impacts it. So again, we both agree that Kante's probably more of a squad player now. Still got a huge amount to offer and can on his day be the best player on the pitch without a doubt. But for me, it was a bit of a below par performance on his standards.
Yeah, I would agree on that. What do you think, Space? Do you think he was above average?
Yeah, I
tell, isn't it?
5 on the fence.
Yeah, I think just average. I mean, let's move on to Jorginho now, mate.
Yeah,
obviously scored the winning penalty. What turned out to be the winner from the spot. Great. Again, I thought it was okay, but it's just too slow on the ball. A number of times where he just slowed things down and it just killed any momentum that we were trying to generate. But I don't think he was awful, mate. But I don't know, just kind of, would you say, I mean, do you think he was good today? I'm not saying he was terrible, but I don't think it was a standout performance by any means.
Well, no, but it's hard to judge, isn't it? Because they both, we're marking them quite harshly as if we want more, but they've done their job. We've won the game 1-0.
Yeah, we've won the game for sure, yeah.
What do we want from Jorginho? We're not expecting him to be creating loads of chances or playing players through. That's not really his game. So you could argue that he's actually had a very good performance because he's done what we're supposed to do. It's not great entertainment to watch, but he's nullified Everton getting any sort of clear-cut opportunity from the middle of the park. We did get exposed at times, which I think is more to do with the balance of the two. But
maybe a 5.5 because
I'll give him the extra 5.
An extra 0.5 because he scored the penalty. But I mean, I think we were struggling there big time. Mate, let's move into the attack. Apart from Sterling, I don't think the marks are going to be too high here. Let's start with Mason Mount. It was a quiet day for Mount today. We saw Tuchel during the game with the old little sleeping gesture, and not too long after that, he got subbed off. Obviously, he wasn't too happy with something he was seeing from Mount today. Quite a quiet game for Mason, wasn't it, George? He had that one shot in the first half, which was saved by Pickford, but other than that, he just wasn't involved at all. I mean, it was a difficult afternoon for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could tell that Tuchel wasn't perhaps happy with his performance, and Mount will know this, that he probably wasn't at his best. Well, he wasn't at his best today. We know that. I think we're going to need more from him. We can't expect Sterling to create everything. Mount's going to have to take some of that responsibility on his shoulders. Yeah, and I don't know why he was so quiet today, because you'd expect with, particularly a game where, Everton aren't the best team in the world. They struggled to stay in the league last season, so you'd expect him to be a bit more creative. He did have his chance early doors, but that was really about it from Mount. It was all a bit safe, and it was all a bit average. So again, maybe we can pencil that as still getting up to speed, but can't really give him more than a 5. I can't.
Mate, I think he was less than a 5, mate. I thought it was below average today. I didn't think he was good at all, mate. Well, I'm going to give it. I'm going in with a 4.5, mate.
Okay, that's fair.
I just didn't do anything. But someone that did do something, Raheem Sterling, the standout player for me on the pitch, pretty much, and definitely in that attack, is a bright spark. He picks the ball up, he runs at defenders, he covers a lot of ground, he wins fouls. He just does it. He looks like a complete package. And mate, it looks like already that a lot of our hopes are going to be pinned on Sterling for how well we do this season on the pitch. And that's a lot of pressure for someone that's just literally just come into the football club. But Sterling was, as Texas Blue in the chat said, he was just miles above the levels of everyone else on the pitch in the attack. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him. But George, this was a really good performance from him today, wasn't it? I mean, I thought it was really, really good today. And hopefully he can kick on from here as well.
Yeah, and hopefully he can raise the levels of the players around him, because we've been screaming out for a player to be as creative as Raheem Sterling. And when the opportunity came to buy him, I think everyone agreed that it was pretty much a no-brainer. I mean, we're delighted to have him at Chelsea. I mean, he's the calibre of player we need. Goals, assists, his sprinting ability, his fox in the box. I mean, he got a disallowed goal. He was in the right area.
Yeah.
Constant balls breaking the lines, running at players, very direct, and just ticking all those boxes that Chelsea just lack in every single department in the front line. And he was good today. And the great news is he had a really good performance and can still do a lot better, which can only be a positive. And he was the shining light in what has been an abyss up front, really.
Well, there's been nothing there at all. I mean, mate, God forbid if he had a poor game today. That just wouldn't be anything. And it already feels like there is going to be a heavy reliance on Sterling to try and do stuff, which it's going to be a little bit problematic, that in my opinion. But I mean, today, George, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you think an 8?
I'd probably go 7.5. I wouldn't go that high. I think 8 categories. You're looking at goals, assists.
No, I think that's fair. 7.5, definitely the standout for sure.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what,
he was standout for other reasons.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, someone that stood out for all the wrong reasons. Kai Havertz, mate, man was invisible today. Honestly, there was nothing from him at all. Nothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we do with Kai Havertz. I really don't, because today he really was, in large parts of the game, he was just invisible. Didn't have any impact at all. And Broja came on for 10, 15 minutes at the end and had more of an impact than Havertz had in the whole period of time that he was on the pitch. I mean, it's a big concern, isn't it? It really is. I mean, and also, like, what is Kai Havertz actually good at as well, George? Like, I'm not saying this in like a disrespectful way, but what is he good at? Because he's not a good finisher. He's not great at dribbling. He's not creative. What does he do? I mean, it was a shocking performance today. Nothing.
Mate, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't know how. I think the only saving grace for him today was the fact that we were winning 1-0, and that's the only reason that he stayed on the football pitch. Because I don't understand how anyone can watch that performance as a manager, as his own, even himself, come off that pitch and be like, yeah, that was decent. It just wasn't. There was just nothing there. And I mean, I didn't know a lot about Kai Havertz before he joined Chelsea, so I didn't really know what to expect.
He was very good at Bayer Leverkusen, but again, he was doing all the things that we'd expect him to do for Chelsea, and it just hasn't materialised yet. I mean, this is one game this season. Havertz could have a decent season, of course, but it's following a familiar pattern. And you got concerns?
Mate, I'm really concerned, but I've gone past concern now. I just think, I'm trying to think back now. I can't think of a single performance where I've said Kai Havertz was unplayable today.
Oh,
I mean, even in the final, like, he scored the goal, but okay, he scored the goal, which is obviously amazing, but that's all he did. I mean, he wasn't, and it was a tap in, but it's pretty much a run around. By the way, it's not exactly like no one could finish it. I've never watched him and been like, wow, there's potential there where he could skyrocket and be the best in his position. I don't see any of it. I don't see. He's not quick. I don't see any confidence in terms of like taking on players. He's frail. Does he score headers? I don't know. I didn't see any evidence.
He's not too bad. He's not bad. He's not that bad in the air. But no, mate, I totally agree.
So I'm really, really struggling, and I think Broja already showed some promise with just at least high press, closing down, a bit more physical. I suppose the only thing that people say Havertz is quite good at sometimes is linking up play. But again, I haven't seen any of that that's better than what we've got. So obviously he stays this year. He's not going anywhere. But I'm really struggling to figure out where.
I think this is last chance this season for me.
Yeah, Oh, for sure. But there's the stat did come up at the beginning of the game where I think he was second highest goal scorer with 14 last year. So he did have that purple patch where he was scoring a few.
Yeah, he just starts the season really slowly. I mean, just a quick quote from Tuchel here. He's saying after the game, we could use some more quality players. We are on it, but I will not tell you anything. So that sounds promising. So hopefully, perhaps Fofana and maybe De Jong as well, maybe CR7 as well. So yeah, let's see what happens there. But
I would love De Jong, by the way. Sorry,
I would as well, mate. Do you think it's the right fit for the midfield? Can you see him playing in a pivot, or do you think we sign De Jong and that signifies us switching to a 4?
Well, I just think regardless, I just think he's a much more creative. He's that person that can pick a pass. The best version we can find of a kind of Kevin De Bruyne type player, which I think is what we're screaming for again. So, I mean, again, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but that's promising that he's come out with that. But for Havertz, mate, ratings-wise, I mean...
3.
Oh, God, I mean, that's being generous. I mean, Lukaku I think we gave him a 1 when he got the 7 touches game.
Mate, I'll give him 2.
Better than that. But 2.5, 3, yeah. I think
2.5, mate. He was awful. He really was. He was terrible. Yeah. What's this? After this game, I can't imagine Tuchel still not wanting CR. This is a fair point. Like, how can Tuchel watch this? I could be wrong here, but how can he watch this and think that Ronaldo doesn't improve this attack, or it's not right to go for him? I just don't understand. Particularly with Sterling down one side, who's going to beat players, get onto the bar line, cross it back with the fullbacks crossing it in for Ronaldo's headers. I don't understand. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that as managers, you've got to have principles, and if you're just going to say, "Well, we'll sign Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo," and then forget about what I actually want to play, then what kind of a coach are you? I think Tuchel's been quite fair in that sense, and you've got to respect that. If he doesn't want to play that way, it doesn't matter if it's Ronaldo or not. Yeah, no, I'd agree. Well, there's a couple of bits in the chat. Mo saying Havertz his last season. I'd agree it's his last chance to prove himself. Havertz is crap. He's not getting away with it. It's his 3rd season. Yeah, big questions got to be asked of Kai Havertz. But George, a quick word on the subs, mate. Whilst we're on forwards, Broja, what did you make of him? I thought it was a promising cameo. Like, look, he was physical. He put himself about. He worked hard. I mean, kind of all basic things you'd expect. But in that 15 minutes or so he played, mate, he was so much better than Havertz. I think it's quite exciting for what Broja could potentially do this season in terms of he could definitely have an impact, and he's got a massive opportunity to kind of make that number 9 spot his. Yeah,
and the world is his oyster in this situation because only he can get that spot. He's going to have to deliver. But what an opportunity that you wouldn't see in any other top 6 side for a player that has, that much experience to play as a number 9 for Chelsea. It's almost unheard of, So for him to get an opportunity like this to say, with Havertz being so poor, he's got a real opportunity to make a name for himself and be that number 9 at least until January if we don't get a player in, which it's a huge opportunity for him. So, if he doesn't take it because he's not good enough, that's fine. But if he's just going to mope around because he still wants to leave, then I'm not sure. But I think it's promising. I liked what I saw today. Let's give him lots of time. If we're going to give Havertz 2-3 seasons, we've got to give Broja at least till January.
Give Broja we've got to give him a few. We've got to give him plenty of opportunities. I think he will get plenty of opportunities. But as well, George, who else? Let's talk about Cucurella. I mean, obviously, big money signing. 1 training session, he came on. He looked great. Looks really well. It looked like he'd done really well.
He's great. He's so good getting forward.
Defensively good, getting forward, good balls into the box, set pieces, decent as well. I tell you what, mate, I'm so glad that we got him because he would have been cooking if he went to City. It would have been big problems if he'd gone there.
Yeah, exactly. And, if City wanted him, we got him. I mean, it can only be a plus point that Pep's managed to spot it. Of course, we paid over the odds. No one.
Sometimes you just got, if you want to play, you just got to.
Yeah. And, I have, since the Lukaku thing, I have been like, it's not. I don't really care what the figure is. It's not our money. So why should I care if he's getting paid that amount? And he looks like he's been there for years. I mean, it's great.
It was really good. It was good, but I mean, mate, it seems like player ratings there, guys. If you agree or disagree, let us know. But I mean, that's the ratings there. Obviously, the standout players, the guys at the back were great. Koulibaly and Silva and Sterling was a standout going forward. Other than that, everyone else pretty average there. But yeah, I mean, the Blues start with 3 points. First one at Goodison Park in 6 years. Shocking game. But at the end of the day, we'll take the boring Chelsea. It's 1-0 win. The performances will come in the next few weeks as we get fitter. But it's all about getting the points on the board at the start of the season. And we've got 3 points on the board. We roll on to a London derby next weekend against Tottenham. That's going to be a tough one. Spurs have been very good today, convincing 4-1 win against Southampton. It's going to be tricky. But yeah, up the Chelsea. We're back. 1-0 win. 3 points on the board. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Really appreciate you tuning in for the watch along. Thanks for tuning in as always. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments afterwards. Like if you enjoy these things. We're not going to do them for every game, but if you want to see them and you like them, do let us know. George, thanks for your time as always, mate. Long stint today. But yeah, win's a win. 3 points for the Chelsea. Onwards and upwards. And we'll catch you again in the next few days with a bit more transfer news. So until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care and up the Chelsea. Also, make sure you subscribe on your way out as well, people. Cheers.